why did you want to sign up for the Special Forces?
They put us in a storage, they blindfolded us, and they put us in position of the hostage.
And he says to me, my wife was ready to shoot you. She had a gun with her.
It happened to my father. We don't know how much money he lost.
It was more than $1 million.
I truly predict that it's going to be the dumbest generation ever.
What's up?
Welcome.
Good to see you, man. Oh my God. That's the first collab we did in 2017. And your current office is too small, so you just build a new building.
Yeah, that's the office. So all this floor, it's gonna be office, like a monster office.
We got Xenios and his brother Sergio Charalambous.
Correct.
Almost, but you guys are pretty crazy legends. So you just showed me your 2 cows, aka the land and the buildings that you've bought. You guys own 3 businesses together?
Correct.
Crazy. Plus your brothers, which is also very, very interesting. Plus you and I go way back to 2017, 16, 17, where you were a celebrity fitness trainer.
Oh, man.
And you both of you guys came really, really far. And it's a pleasure to have you in your office on the podcast.
Man, honestly, thank you for having us. I really appreciate it. It's really crazy how we met. Like, now it's 2013. Imagine almost 2024. Sorry, 2023, not 2013.
Yeah, you got 10 years difference.
Yeah. But actually, I started to follow you from back in the days, I think, when you used to run RSD Max.
Yeah, crazy times.
With Real Social Dynamics.
Exactly. And you were at one of my events. And by the way, make sure you speak loud enough for the mic, because you're a quiet guy. London, 2000-something, 2016 or 17 it was where we met.
Bro, listen, we met... Actually, I bought your program, The Natural.
Yes, yes.
And that's what was my first year in London, I remember. And basically, I heard that you were coming for an event, and it was free.
That's how we get it.
Free, it's good.
No, free for anyone that bought The Natural. Let's name it this way, because
That's
I think
what
the
it
other
was.
people paid.
I remember it was the Natural blah 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 event, something like that.
Yeah.
And you came up to me afterwards.
Yeah, but the real story, what is it? Actually, I remember back when I was sitting in my studio in London, I was really depressed, honestly. You cannot imagine, no friends, nothing. And as soon as I heard that you were coming, I was extremely skeptical to come to this event, because obviously it creates me anxiety to be around a lot of people. And I just decided, okay, fuck it, let's just go there and see what is this all about. Because if you don't get out of your comfort zone, then obviously you are not growing, you're not doing anything. I mean, this is what the mindset that you used to teach back in the days.
Yeah, that's right.
So I decided, okay, let me go. I have nothing to lose. No matter how bad I'm gonna feel, how much anxiety, how much stress, I'm just gonna go there and that's it. I don't need to speak to anyone. Just go there and show up. So I remember I came to the event. Obviously, it was a bit awkward because this event is like for guys only who basically have issues
with the dating life. Yeah. So everybody's a little bit awkward. Yeah.
But honestly, if it wasn't for me to go and show up to this event, I don't think we will be in this podcast today.
That's the crazy thing.
This is how I met.
Butterfly effect, right?
Yeah.
You and this butterfly effect is so crazy, right? You're like, whatever, I'll go, I'll show up, right? And then you do, and then we chat, and then we shot that video.
The same day, I think.
Yeah, we shot that
the same day.
I think so.
It was the end of the event, and then that was the moment that everyone was about to say thank you for everything or to meet you in person. And I was one of the guys. Actually, I was the last person to stay back.
That was smart.
And I think I got your attention because you asked me, what do you do here? And then I told you, I just started training some celebrities here in London.
That's right.
And it caught your attention immediately. We exchanged Instagrams.
Exactly.
And the same day we went out and we shot the video in King's Cross. It's not this video. I think this was maybe the next day. We shot another video.
That's right.
Outside King's Cross station.
That's right.
And then we went to train together.
Yeah, we went work out together. That was so crazy.
Honestly, that's how we met. Then we kept in touch. And I met you again in Ukraine 2 times.
That's right.
When you used to live there.
Yeah. Where you got the food poisoning at my party.
Oh, man. No,
I remember he called me. And he was like, "Bro, I'm like food poison." I was in Cyprus. Like, bro, you went there. Like, I was like, what are you doing there?
That's what happens when you eat meat in Kiev. It's like
Man,
50-50.
He used to throw the best parties ever in history. Imagine, he had an amazing apartment in Ukraine. Every weekend he used to invite like a lot of women, a lot of guys, like throwing parties there.
Yeah. My neighbors would come by. I was like, "Hey, we're your neighbors. We have beer. Can we join?" And I'm like, "None of us drinks, but feel free to join." And it was always just more and more people that I never saw before at the party. And then I remember you like lying on the couch. Dude, I got food poisoning.
He used to have jacuzzi in the not jacuzzi, sorry, sauna.
Yeah,
in the
sauna,
building.
and I had a jacuzzi then as well in the second apartment.
Yes,
was
I didn't go to that one though.
Yeah, man. Until a wind blew the roof off the jacuzzi off the building, we never found it anymore. It was just gone.
The jacuzzi, how is it possible?
You know, like the jacuzzi has a roof that you put over it, and it got blown off. We never found it anymore. Not down on the street. It was gone. It must have flown super far away. So that was the end of that.
And by the way, that was the moment, by the way, that you changed my life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The food poisoning in Kiev?
That was the second time. The first time we met in Ukraine, that was the time that you started to talk to me about online business.
Ah.
Yes, that was the moment that you told me, bro, listen, let me show you. I made 100K from back in the days in a month from the dating, and I can show it to you how you can do this as well.
Yeah.
And that's where you opened my eyes that, holy shit, I shouldn't be doing personal training.
Yes.
And
that's right. I remember now.
that's how it started, man.
I remember now. Crazy. And now, so let's take a step back. And now both of you have the same 3 companies? You work together, or do you have one that you only do alone, or how does it work?
No, we like whatever we do together. Basically.
Wow.
Yeah, everything.
That is, how is that? Because there's 2 opinions. There's people who say never do anything with your family, and then there's people who say only do business with your family. I guess you guys are second category, because this whole thing of like, can I trust someone? You know, when you're a business partner, like how much can I trust? Is that person gonna fuck me up? You guys don't have that because you guys are brothers. So I guess that's an advantage. How do you feel working together with your brother?
Well, it's basically each one of us has different responsibilities. That was from day one. So I do more the software CY stuff, which is website and branding and so on. So that's my part. Xenios does the fitness part. Obviously, I cannot do that. And then we have the software, which is a co-op member. And I do most of it, but he's also involved. So it's like a mixture there.
We got the fitness, we got the co-op member, which is software.
Exactly.
/ is it a merchant, or what is it exactly?
It's an e-learning platform.
E-learning platform, got it.
So you can host your courses, your students can visit the course and so on. Like.
That's right, I remember. And then what's the third one? The real estate?
The third one is the it's the agency, the co-op member, and the fitness.
Wait, hold on, what's the agency? The way you guys call it, the agency.
The agency is like we do like
software CI.
Software CI. So we develop like websites, SEO, marketing for local businesses in Cyprus and also for businesses outside. We work with some of the biggest names, to be honest with you. I have some cool stories.
Like whom? Let's drop some names if you're allowed to.
I have an invoice from Grand Carton.
No shit.
Yeah. Wow. He bought ones from us. Yes.
No shit.
Yes.
That's custom plugin.
Yeah, custom plugin which I
had no idea.
Yeah.
That is sick. All
Bro,
right.
listen, it's a lot of things that you don't know about us.
That's why you guys are here, right?
So basically, it was so funny how I got him as a customer. So I developed a plugin that, every webinar has a really bad way when you go to the funnel, the opt-in is really bad. So I created one which was much faster. You could just one click and put it on your landing page. Anywhere it would work. ClickFunnels, whatever, it is your landing page.
Every big name used to have that opt-in. Alex Beger, Grand Carton after.
And now not anymore, or what?
No, it's dead.
No, everybody just copied it, or what?
No, it's just not working anymore. Everything has a lifespan, as we said before. Like Yeah.
But like it was funny how we got him as a customer. It was like, I remember it was, I was messaging, I was outreaching inside the ClickFunnels group. And yes, I was doing outreaching. I was like, why you post? And then pitching in the end, and then people were DMing me, oh, what's this, what's that, you know? Yeah. And then one day, a guy messages me. I didn't respond to him. Like it was like 2:00 at night here. I wake up in the morning, and I see on the system, because we had it all automated, Gran Carton. I was like,
And domain
what?
at Gran Carton. Yeah.
What? Are we serious? And he bought it. And then the same night, his whole team was calling me because they were like, they threw a lot of traffic to it and there was issues.
Man, I remember 40,000 opt-ins in just one day.
No way, 40,000 opt-ins in one day. Where did they come from? Organic or did they?
That was one landing page. That was one landing page they had. That was one landing page.
Where did the traffic come to the landing page? Was it
I don't
organic?
know. I don't know.
Man, the Gran Carton, he has Instagram, big email list, big YouTube channel. It is really big.
You know, when I see things like that, when I hear numbers like that, I get a certain feeling.
First, you don't believe it.
Yes.
But it's the same case with us. In our case, we see it with our eyes. That you see so many people.
It's not even like that I don't believe it. The first feeling I get is like, I want that. And I got the same when you guys showed me your real estate. And you're like, yeah, we bought this, so and so much money. And then we built that and the profitability. And I'm like, I want that. And you know what's funny? That's me. That's how my brain works. So I remember specifically, because you said you were at my seminar for the dating brand back in the days. Well, cut back a couple of years before that, I think it was 2011, I was at a seminar just like that of Alex Treasure, RSD Alex back in the days from Australia. And he was in Vienna. He did a program there. It was like a $300 program. And it's a weekend program, Saturday, Sunday, right? So I'm sitting there. I'm enjoying it Saturday, Sunday, writing down notes, learning a lot about social dynamics, how to put yourself out of your shell and all that jazz, right? And then at the end, it was like the last 10 minutes, he says like, yeah, you know what? Like what we do is we travel around the world and we always need people that help us out. So if you have some sort of online income where you can make money while you're traveling, feel free to travel with us. Right, we're always like a group of guys. We're self-improving. We're traveling the world. I'm giving seminars. Right, we're talking to girls and all that shit. So for me, I was like 21 years old. I'm like, holy shit! It was like he's right, and then it clicked for me. It was like, okay, income online plus traveling the world plus great friends group. That's the life. So I had exactly the same feeling that you guys just gave me earlier when we walked through the real estate that I just had when you talked about Grant Cardone's numbers. I got out of that seminar room. And I grabbed my best friend, Andre, who's top 4 poker players on PokerStars back in the days. He already made $2 million profit just playing poker with 21. Legendary guy. One of my first clients in dating advice. And I grabbed him by his shirt. And I'm like, bro, we got to get to work. And he's like, what do you mean? We got to get to work. We got to make this thing happen. And he was back then coaching me in playing poker. So I said, I'll coach you. I'll teach you everything I know about social dynamics. And you teach me everything you know about poker. So back then, the vehicle for me was professional poker playing. It changed, and obviously I later on became a coach, which kind of was even better because it wasn't based on luck as much or mathematics for that matter. But it was exactly the same feeling. I'm like, I want that. And when I have that, I get obsessed. And then it's just like, okay, let's start the grind. Months, years, I don't care. Let's go. And that's also why I'm here now, right? It's like every time I see someone else crushing, I'm like, I want that until I crush it like them. And then I'm like, okay, now I have it. And then I see some other guy and I'm like, I want that too. And 3-4 years later, I have that too. And it always goes on like that. And I love that. So right away, thanks guys, because I wanted to get into real estate for a long time. But this now, I think I will think back when I buy my first property, presumably in Cyprus anyways.
Let's become neighbors.
Fuck yeah. You know, you talked about earthquakes and the building next to yours isn't earthquake secure. I'm there, man. I'm there to fight this thing. Yeah, it's great. And
but I want to tell to you something. Sure. Like you say about numbers, okay? Personally, I don't get excited anymore about numbers. I'm gonna be honest with you.
What do you get excited about? That is non-sexual.
Okay, except from that, okay? But numbers. like most people, they get carried, especially in the online marketing world, they get carried away. Oh my God, like 50,000 opt-ins. That's not what excites me anymore, to be honest with you.
So what is it?
Who buys out of these 50,000 people that they come there?
You see, that's a paradigm shift.
Or I will tell you one more, which is like everybody does that. Everyone's like talking about, how much money do you make? I make 3 million. Oh, bro, do you make that in revenue or in net?
Yeah.
And nobody talks about net. Nobody.
Amen. Here's the crazy part, and this is really beautiful that you say that, because I just got I told you earlier we got the 8-figure award from Copecard, and that's again. From ClickFunnels. Yeah, we got the 5 million from Copecard last year. We got the 10 million from ClickFunnels. And my partner Robin, he said something very, very cool, because we had the award, one sent to him to the Netherlands, one sent to me to Austria, and I sent him the picture, and then he sent me the picture, and I said, post it in the wins group. We have a wins group for our whole staff, right? Because I'm like, hey, let's freaking celebrate this. And he said something really nice, and it's exactly what you said. He says, so he posted the picture of the award in the group, and he says, a lot of people make $1 million, but 1 or 2 years later, you didn't hear anything anymore about these people, and they work in the supermarket again. Not us. 10 million is a great milestone, 25 million next. And this is also what we offer to our clients. We don't teach them to hack what works for a few months. We teach them stuff that keeps working, even in recessions, year after year. We set them up for life if they listen. So props to Robin Bauman for saying this. And it's exactly what you guys just said. It's like, yeah, you make 3 million, sounds cool. Let's talk about real numbers. How much is profit? How much is cash collect? How much is profit? Do you make it once in a good year because you sell some sexy sounding NFT AI bullshit, right? Like whatever the trend is, or do you make this every freaking year and you make even more and you keep growing, right? And that's what's so crazy about you two guys, because we see each other about once or twice a year, and every single time I meet you guys, you've pushed even more. There's something new, there's better, there's more money.
Yeah, but
crazy.
This is not the truth. The truth is that we always have our ups and downs. Yes. I don't want to come here and say, oh yeah, every year we are better and better. No, every year we always have ups and downs. It's in every business. It's not possible to be growing every month. Trust me. If you're in business for many years, you know this. And unless you have a very solid foundation and yes, you manage to make it, like every year, maybe you grow 5-10%, okay. But with me and my brother, look, we have our ups and downs, it's normal.
I don't even deny that.
We're trying to see, okay, what did we learn from our losses? Because I think this is the best lesson, but sometimes it's expensive lesson.
Oh, hell yeah. But like what I'm saying is like, I don't want to, that's exactly, I'm not taking anything away from that. What I'm saying is like every time I meet you guys, you have done something new, you've learned something new, you've gotten better at something, better, stronger, smarter. And that's really cool because I'll tell you one thing, I have a lot of friends that are business owners, online, offline, and I see a lot of them, it's almost 50-50. 50% step up, and every time I see them, they're smarter, better, and 50% gave up at some point. Everybody gives up somewhere, right? The only question is, where do they give up, right? Do they give up when they're 40 and they have a net worth of 35 million and say that's it? Or do they give up after cracking 200K a month and then they run into an issue? And you guys are not those that give up. How much do you think is it due to the support of each other? Is it sometimes that one of you guys is having a down phase and the other one has to carry him? how do you deal with that?
It happens.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Actually, this is the benefit of doing this partnership. That if let's say I'm sad that something happens, my brother is always going to be the one that is going to cheer me up. Listen, don't worry, you have my back. Everything is good.
But like other times it's the reverse. Maybe I'm the one who is like, oh my God, blah, and I complain, and then he says, no, mindset issue. And then, yeah, let's go.
Have you ever had it where you both were down?
No, never. It's always one.
Never at the same time, seriously.
That is really good. Because I noticed this because I've worked with several different partners in several different areas. And I noticed when my business partner is as hysterical as I am and as prone to quick action taking, like when there's an issue for me, I'm like, okay, we got to fix this, let's go, right? And I've always had partners that are like, okay, chill, shut up. let's look at this first, right? So it's always good to have someone that counterbalances you, right? And like you said, that's the strength of having a partner, man.
That's very important, especially my brother, because obviously it's a person I can trust.
Yeah, the trust is there, you know, like.
I know whatever is gonna happen. Listen, it's my brother.
What's the age difference between you guys?
I'm 29.
I'm 35, so 6 years.
Nice. How did it feel when he started getting stronger than you? Because there's a dip, right? No, come on. The first 10 years, and then...
Wait a second. He followed.
That's what I'm saying. And then at some point you started, same for my brother, he's 3 years older. I could kick his ass right now, you know?
We were like, I was like, I went to the army first, and that was like the turning point, let's put it this way, okay? So when I went to the army, I went to Special Forces. And then I was,
Oh, you too?
Yes, I was.
I thought only you went to Special Forces.
It was my idea.
I stole his idea.
It was my idea. And then when it was the moment where he will go to the army, I was like, you don't go to the Special Forces, don't talk to me again.
Yeah, it was
Sure, you go to the Special
psychological
Forces.
pressure.
Yeah,
Imagine
I
that
was
your
like
brother has done it.
psychologically pushing him to go to the Special Forces.
Hey, if you guys don't mind, let's talk about that, because as someone who went to the Austrian army, which is as we call, at least the one that I went to, the unit, it was the Hollywood army, because we were not a fighting force, we were a maintenance force. So we had like 8 weeks of base training in like one of the easiest, like most laid back bases in all of Austria. And then we were like, you know, kitchen, office, that was our job. But you guys, look, what you told me that one time, I think 2 years ago, like the stuff that those guys did in your training, holy shit.
Yeah, man, I have crazy stories to share, to be honest with you.
Can you share some?
Yeah, I can't share anything because I'm not there anymore.
yeah, let's go. They're not going to get you. By the way, can we turn the AC a little colder? Because I'm sweating here. Okay. So I had no idea that you went to the Special Forces as well. So you do base level military training first, and then you get to the Special Forces. How do you even qualify for that? I mean, you got to be like 10 out of 10 fit for that shit, right?
Do you want to say maybe? Or
But
should I say?
basically, listen, in Cyprus, it's compulsory to go to the army, okay? For everybody. Well, when it was like 24 months. I don't know how long did you, yeah, 2 years basically. We did 2 years. Now it's 14 months, so it's 1 year, okay? So when it was the time that we went, I'm 35 now, so I was 18. So you sign up for the Special Forces. There was like, you need to run like...
You did that right away before you started?
Yes, before you go in, you need to sign up. So the first day that you go in...
Why did you even do that? Why did you want to sign up for the Special Forces?
Man, I don't know. Personally,
Actually, it's the only thing that is worth it, to be honest with you.
Worth it for what? For the challenge?
Let him finish and then I will
Okay,
I
explain.
will tell you the reason I signed up.
All right.
Because when I was in school, I used to go every week on hiking. And then before, like, when we was the last year of school, they took us to a trip on the Special Forces, like the base. And I saw the base and I was like, shit, that's where I want to go. I go every week on hiking. I like camping. I like these things. I'm going to go to Special Forces. So that's why I signed up. And I was very skinny, actually, back then. I signed up. It was like, you need to run like 1 mile under what time? I don't remember. Under 7 minutes, which is like, it's nothing. It's not difficult to pass. It's not difficult. Okay. 50 push-ups, you can do them. Yeah. 50 sit-ups, that's it. But
50 sit-ups in time frame. I think there is time frame.
Yeah, there was a time frame. But then, that's not the hard part. All of us that did the exam to pass, immediately, when the exam was finished, they told us, okay, you pass, you failed. You pass, you failed. So it was like, okay, I passed. So you go and stand there. And then they started the mind games.
It started right away?
Right away, mind games. Mind games right away, and they were like, you don't want to go? Step out. You don't want to go? Step out. You're not going to go to hell. You're not going to holidays or paradise. You're going to hell. And many people, they're like...
So they tried to talk you out of it?
Yes, because they had to decrease the number, actually. They only took, I think, in my year, 300.
So they walked up to people that looked weak, and they were like, you don't want to go, get out of here?
No, it was like, no, it was everybody standing there, okay? Push-ups, like sit-ups, anything you can imagine. And they were like talking bullshit, like this is nothing. When you go in, it's gonna be worse.
How many people dropped out there already?
Oh, I remember like for sure 50, 60 people, seriously.
Out of how many?
We were like 400, I think. Then they had to drop down the number to 300, I think, to get us in. So it was crazy, man.
In our generation, because obviously he's 6 years older, it was kind of different, to be honest. First of all, back then when I did it, they accepted 250 people. But in our case, it was not just to pass this physical exam. It's basically, you passed it, but we're only going to accept 250 people. So we're going to get only the best of the 250 people. No matter if, let's say, another 400 or 500 people manage to pass. So usually 5,000 people apply, 250 got accepted. And in the first 3 weeks, we went from 250 to around 190, because the first 3 weeks is usually the harder ones. And the reason behind that is because obviously it's a new environment. You realize that you made the big mistake to sign up for the Special Forces.
When was the moment? Walk me through it. When was the moment you realized, okay, shit, what have I got myself? Yeah, in both your cases, I'd love to know.
Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted also to quit like in 2 weeks' time, because obviously it was too much, man. Like every day you have to go 10 kilometers running. Then you have to do all of these nonsense exercises. Every day they talk shit to you that you're nothing, you're garbage, you're not going to do anything in your life. And basically that's where I just didn't want to do this anymore. I did this for 2 weeks, and I was coming home sometimes like 1-2 times a week that we used to get allowed. And I used to tell to my parents, hey, listen, I don't want to do this anymore. And well, I want to quit.
Was it for you more the verbal stuff or the physical or both?
The physical, I think. The verbal, I wouldn't really care, to be honest with you, because I was like, okay, who's this guy to tell me right now? That's how I used to think. But the physical stuff, I mean, that was the whole point of the army. Their goal was to find out exactly, okay, what is the weakness of Max, and then destroy you completely. So let's say if they realize, Max is getting affected when they tell him he's short.
All right.
We're going to do it like every day until he quits, because that's their goal, to make you quit.
But it doesn't sound so bad yet. You just said...
By the way, you're not short. I'm the same height as you. We're short.
Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
This is a story that is the highlight. Like when I was in the army. So it was a night, and we are like, they told us, okay, you need to go sleep. So we went, we didn't sleep. We started talking and going on and on. And then the guy comes in, and he is like, everybody get up. Everybody get up. Everybody.
During the night?
Everybody get up,
care.
not dressed, with the underwears.
Yeah.
And they put us outside. It was cold. And we started taking push-ups, and then we started doing this on the crawling, and we crawled like 50, 60 meters. And he made us crawl to the toilets. Man, to the toilets. And then I remember him. He went inside the toilets, and he took like water, and he was like spraying everybody with the cold water, okay? And then he was like, okay, now crawl back. So you're wet, you crawl back into the soil, so there's mud on your skin. And then who did it? Nobody would talk. Okay, nobody talks. Who did what? Like who was talking? Who was talking? And then okay, you don't say who was doing it. Okay, let's go on. And we were like going on and on and on
until
for
you
like
rat each
2
other
hours,
out.
man, like 2 hours completely.
If you do this all of you together, at some point one of them is gonna break up. He's the one who did it. Yeah, but that was how I ruled together. That no matter what, everyone is on the same boat. We all go all of this together.
The highlight after 2 hours. Okay, you can go to sleep, but you're not allowed to go to the toilets to make a shower.
Of course.
So you were like that, and then you go to sleep in bed with the mat.
Oh man.
Yes, that was like, I remember that. I will never forget that actually. I never forget it because the guy who did it to us, it was not a permanent staff person actually. It was a guy who was 1 year older than us.
Oh, it's always the young ones who are the most assholes.
And to be honest, I don't know what was his issue, but like he had some psycho issues. He was doing this stuff.
The guys are always crazy.
They tried to show up to like, I'm the strong guy, I can't break you and so on. That was like, but I will tell you something about the army. I still have my best friends from the army. and they are my best friends forever.
You go through so much shit together.
Yes, because we went through many things together, and we have a very strong relationship, and we speak every day. Every day. Every day.
Man, imagine this is one of the things that he said. You know what's the worst part about the Special Forces? And this is only happening in Special Forces, not in the Navy SEALs, not anywhere else. In the Special Forces is basically 2 years of training. So what does that mean? That the first year, when you do all of these activities and missions and everything and all the pain that you are going through, you think that, the first year you don't know, every week something new is coming and you don't know what is coming.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now,
it fucks with you.
And that's where most of the people quit, actually. You will be surprised. It was during the 1 year, because when the 1 year of the army finishes, then you realize that all of the things that you've been through, you have to repeat them. But this time you know what is coming. And when you know what is coming, you just don't want to do it. Yeah, when you don't know, it's amazing. Yeah. Perfect. Let's do it. You don't know what is going to happen.
But let me change. Special Forces. If I go back now, how I apply this to my business with Xenios. So, personally, I show up. I come to the office. So, Xenios, he works from home. Personally, I show up every day. And it's my motto, I show up every day. I need to be sooner than anybody into the office.
Nice.
That's the number one thing. Grant Carton says that as well, actually. Show up. Then the other thing is like, be on time, be strict, like to the schedule and so on. I'm always like, yeah, I'm on time, I'm strict to the schedule, let's do it. Or you have to do this today, it needs to happen today. Yes, it needs to be done today. There is no tomorrow. And all of these are things that we learned from the army. It was like, we got that mentality, to be honest, and execution. Because many people, like, they talk, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make a plan, and everything stays on the plan. Execution, nothing. That's the biggest problem, that all these people, you said before, where do these guys give up? You said?
Yeah.
I will tell you where they give up. They give up when they are bored to execute, or they don't know what to execute, or they execute wrong.
It's so cool that both of you guys come from the Special Forces background, and what I've been through is probably nothing compared to that. We do 6 months compulsory, and like I said, we had 8 weeks of base training at the Austrian Army. But I do remember a couple points too where I got close to my physical limits. And I remember this one time we had packing drills. So they always let you pack a certain setup of your gear, and you had like 60 seconds, 90 seconds. So in the Austrian Army, you have CATS 1, 2, 3, and 5. CATS means Kampfanzug, which is basically like your combat gear. And you had to memorize it. So they said, okay, group 5, CATS 3, 60 seconds, go. And you had to memorize what is included in CATS 3. Okay, it's these boots, this jacket, these pants, knife, rifle, helmet, blah, blah, blah. And you have to pack this and this into your backpack, right? And CATS 1 was the lowest one. CATS 2, CATS 3 got more heavy. For some reason, there was no CATS 4, but CATS 5 was, I think, like 30 kilos on your back plus a 25 kilo extra bag. And it's like basically all your gear, like your tent, your shovel, like your whole life as a soldier is in there. And I remember we had like CATS 3, 60 seconds. We all run upstairs into the barracks, get dressed, and what we really like, because you mentioned it too, is like you become a unit. Because some people are really fast at packing, some people are slower. And in the beginning, everybody that was fast at packing, they just finished up and then they waited. And then later on, because they always punished all of us together, the guys that were fast, they were like, I'm ready, who needs help? Here, gotcha. And they helped the other guy pack, right? And then I remember we all stand in line, and you guys know this, the number one rule is your rifle is either on you or it's locked up in the locker. There's no other thing, right? And you have to memorize the number, the serial number. I still remember mine was Mike Bravo 327. That was 15 years ago. I still remember mine. And we're all standing downstairs, CATS 3, and like everything had to be perfect, right? Every button, and the drill sergeant comes over, checks everybody out, and then he comes to this one guy and he's like, "You missing something?" And he's like, "No." "All right, have a look at your comrades. Tell me if you're missing something." He looks at everyone. He's like, "No, sir." And he had his rifle not on him. He was the only one who stood there without a rifle. And then the drill sergeant was, "It better not be upstairs on your bed." Goes upstairs, rifle lies on the bed. Drill sergeant comes back down and he's like, "All right, cuts 5, 60 seconds. We all know cuts 5 is the heaviest, right? It's like 30 kilos on the back, 25 kilos extra. So we all have 60 seconds, pack all our stuff. And we're like standing downstairs, like holding it. And he's like, "Okay, let's go for a run." And the drill sergeant had nothing, right? It was just him, no gear. And he just starts running, and we're behind him with all this stuff. And at first he starts jogging, and then he starts sprinting. And we're like sprinting after him with the entire freaking gear and the boots and everything. And that was where I'm like, okay, I got like maybe 5 more seconds till I collapse. And exactly in that moment he stopped and says, "Okay, good job. Now cuts 3, 60 seconds." And then we just had to redress the other stuff again. And this kind of stuff, just like you said, I remember it really messed with me the first 2-3 weeks, because what they did in the Austrian army, they actually had a plan, a daily plan, where you could always see what's going to be tomorrow, right? And it was like blah, blah, blah exercises, this exercise. And knowing, just like you said, really messes with you, because it's like, fuck, tomorrow is going to be the thing. I need to go sleep and all that stuff. So it really messes with you. And I had so much resistance at first, right? You're an 18-year-old young guy. You don't experience that kind of pressure. There's no, "Hey, I want to go home." There's no, "Hey, mom, I'm sick. I don't want to go to school today." It's like you fucking show up and you do. And I felt so much resistance knowing like, okay, tomorrow is this and then that. Oh my God, and on Thursday we have to run for 18 kilometers. Fuck. It messes with you so hard. And then at some point, it clicked for me, because I'm like, you know what, Max? You got to do it anyways. Stop thinking about it. Stop resisting it. When the guy says drop down and crawl through the mud, you just do it. Don't think about it. When the guy says run, you run. Just shut your brain off and execute. And that's exactly what you said. Is when I'm in my business now and I wake up in the morning, right? Sure, I could say, fuck it, I'm going to have a day off. But at the same time, I'm like, I got responsibility. I got staff. I got 25 people full-time working. I got 300 active clients. I have the podcast with Xenios and Sergio today. I got to fucking execute. I got to perform. I got to be on point. So shut the fuck up and go do. Doesn't matter how you feel. And that was literally a skill that I learned at 18 years old in the Austrian army. And that's why it's so fucking valuable, man. Anyways, let's hear your
worst memory.
Your worst memory, because I remember you told me they did torture games or simulations.
Man, listen, the story in simple words was, everyone goes through this. By the way, they do this maybe one time in the year, that you have to take the Birkin. Birkin is basically the back of the backpack. It's around 25 kilos maybe.
35?
25 kilos. 35 is too much, man. I think some people can do that. 25 kilos is already too much. Then you have the gun. The unlucky people is people who have the machine guns, because the machine gun is like, it's like, how heavy is it? Like 11, 10 kilos? Yeah. But even 3 kilos is heavy. You hold it for a long time. Believe me, it's still heavy. And basically what we did, 60 kilometers non-stop with
60?
all of 60, yeah. We started 9 in the evening and we finished 6 in the morning, non-stop. No. To be honest with you, when we started doing this, at some point I was sleeping and walking. I will not forget this. And then at some point it was the sunrise, and obviously when you start to see the sunrise, because you started doing this when it was dark, we started to cry, because we were like, holy shit, are we walking for so many hours? We went back to the base, and then we realized that it's not over. That now is starting. The moment that you think is over, it was always the moment that that is starting. And basically what they did, they put us in a storage. They blindfolded us and they put us in position of the hostage.
Oh, so blindfold behind your back.
Blindfolded. The hands, they have to be tied like this, and then you have to be on your knees. So I was there in this storage room with the other guys, and basically we wasn't allowed to sit on the knees.
After you walked 60 kilometers.
Yes, everything was after that. So basically, I was sitting on my knees, and you were not allowed to touch the. While you are on your knees, you're not allowed to basically relax. You have to be always straight. Yeah. And every person who was relaxing, there was someone with a stick like hitting you. And there was so many tortures during that time. Like they used to take this tree over here, and they used to do this on you, behind the ear, and you are not allowed to touch. Imagine you want to do this, and you wasn't allowed. Or the worst one, they used to take like the water, and they used to drop it on your forehead, like bam, bam. Man, listen, this one you don't want to experience that. It's the most annoying, and you are not allowed to touch your face or anything.
So how long did they let you?
That's the big part of this story, that we realized that after everything finished, we asked the commanders, hey, for how long we were there? And they told us, I got goosebumps, 6 hours. Imagine I was 6 hours in this position.
After walking 60 kilometers through the night.
Yes, and then we thought that, okay, there is something more. Because obviously at some point, that's also the point that you start to become an animal, and you don't really feel anything. That, okay, bring me whatever you want, I can do this. Nice. And thankfully it was over. I mean, it was over. Congratulations, everyone finished it. Wow. We didn't even have one guy to give up, to be honest with you. Everyone has done it. Because obviously when you get during that month, it's all the people that will stick around until the end. Yeah. And I mean, this was in the first year. Imagine that in the second year, you have to do it again.
So they did that again?
Yeah. Personally, I didn't do it. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, I did it 2 times.
You did it 2 times?
No, thankfully, in my case, I had different responsibility. I was the driver, actually. And the driver wasn't... It was always the guy that used to take the guys to the location and take them back. But at the same time, since I've done it the first year, they don't care. You just need to experience it once. Yeah, once is for sure. I was a driver as well, but the guy was like, I did something the day before, and like he told me, you are going to fucking do it. So he is like...
So you thought you were out until the day before.
Actually, I was out and I was making fun of the new people that they were going to do it. I was like, yeah, you're going to do this is going to happen. Because, that's the problem. The new people, they have the old guys from the second year, like bullying them, like, yeah, you're going to get this, and this. And I was telling them, like, oh, yeah, tomorrow this is going to happen, and you're fucked up, and so on. And one of the sergeants heard me. Huh, you're making fun?
That's it.
You're joining.
Man, I graduated the army when I was, I think, 19 years old. I finished. I joined when I was 17. I finished at 19. Yeah, I was very young because I was born in December. So basically, if I was born in January, then I will basically...
be at 19, yeah.
And imagine that I kept seeing dreams of the army until 26, 27 years old. I don't get them anymore. Now I'm 29. I stopped getting these bad dreams anymore. That imagine that you sleep, you see a bad dream that you have to go to the army or you are in the army. Yeah, for the first 5 years, it was really bad. Honestly, I don't know for my brother, but for me...
For me, I didn't get so much, to be honest.
Yeah?
No, I mean...
Don't know. I had bad experience. That was also when I started my YouTube channel, by the way.
Oh, right.
You know, no, before this YouTube channel, I used to have another one. And I started it when I was in the second year in the army. And then the commanders of the army, they found out that there was one person that was doing YouTube videos. And they started to bully me, man, in the army like crazy. Who are you making these YouTube videos?
Mr. YouTube.
Yeah.
So they were mad because you said...
Bro, they made me delete my channel because I was receiving so much bullying from everyone. Everyone used to make fun of me.
Yeah.
Like, I started the YouTube channel. I still have it. All the videos, it's like archived. Yeah. But the YouTube channel is there, but there is no videos because everything is unlisted. I took everything down.
How many subscribers did you have back then?
Not many, like maybe 900. It was.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it started honestly, but everyone was watching my videos because everyone was talking about it in the army. Oh, there was because back then, 2012, I think, no one understood YouTube or anything like that. Do you understand?
That's the crazy thing. I started YouTube, I think also 2011, 12-ish, roughly same time.
Yeah, that was the golden era, man.
That was the goal. And
but we didn't understand it, that it was a golden era. We didn't know what is this.
You had 10,000 subscribers. It was like, holy shit, you're huge. And also, you could monetize it so much better. Like, I remember, like, when I sold my first digital product, I think I had 120,000 followers, subscribers on YouTube, and it easily made me $1 million with, on average, $600 price point. And nowadays, I have people...
That was natural, right?
Exactly, that was
the first product ever.
Exactly. I had a paid live program, the Hot Seat first, and that also broke a bunch of records, I remember. But nowadays, you have people come to us with like 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, 500,000, and it means nothing. It's like, because back then when people subscribed to you, they were diehard fans. And nowadays it's kind of more like, oh yeah, whatever, I subscribe to that person. So, and also same with Instagram. I've had, I think I was at 22,000 followers on Instagram when I made my first
solid
million.
Followers. I remember that.
It was crazy. Like I had like 18,000 views on stories when they first came out. Crazy stuff.
You're talking back in the days that I wished I could understand better what you could do with these views.
Hindsight's always 20/20. Because I think I could have easily made double or triple the money with the knowledge I have right now.
Man, you know that sometimes I wish to go back in time with the knowledge that I have right now, what I will be able to do. But this is not possible.
But you know what? It's good that you wish that, because it means you got a lot smarter. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you would have said something else. Imagine you would have said like, oh, sometimes I wish I could go back in time because it was so much easier. What kind of bullshit ass loser mindset would that be? But you said, hey, I wish I could go back with all the knowledge I have now and crush even more. And that means you fucking evolved. You're not complaining. You're not whining. You're literally like, it literally means you're fucking crushing it now. And that's kind of the goal, right? If you don't watch your stuff, or if you don't look back 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago and you don't feel cringe, it means you haven't grown. It means you haven't pushed hard enough. I cringe so hard when I watch old videos of mine. Sure, I'm proud of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, hell yeah, that was for good times. But also I'm like, yeah, that guy knew nothing. He knew he's the shit. He knew nothing. Okay, he doesn't know nothing. And I know 3, 4, 5 years from now, I will look at this podcast and I'm like, this fucking guy knows nothing. Look at this guy, little 8-figure award bullshit ass. That guy knows nothing. And that's kind of the goal. I always felt bad when I looked at myself and I'm like, I'm cringe. But then someone told me, no, it means that you were growing. And that's beautiful, you know?
100% agreement. It's the same with me. Imagine we have right now the YouTube videos playing at the back. And we used to see our face and how we used to talk and how to behave. And it's completely different than now. But,
you know, like, the predominant emotion I feel when I watch my old stuff is just gratitude. It always circles back to gratitude. I'm like, I'm so fucking grateful for that journey, for this journey, for today, for yesterday, for last week. I literally find, this sounds really weird, but when I go to bed, the last thing I do before I'm like, okay, now sleep, is like I lie in bed, I have my sleeping mask on, I'm just in the position to sleep, and I'm like, thank you. Thank you for the food today. Oh, that chicken was great. Thank you for the epic workout. Thank you for this. And I find myself...
This is like, the sleep routine of Max.
Literally. And I even say things like, thank you for that really shit situation that happened. Thank you for that fight. Thank you for that negative emotion. I literally do it every night. I've been doing it for 20-something years. It's insane. It's literally the last thing I do. And I'm just like, thanks for this. Thanks for my family. Thanks for my health.
Do you also write this down on a personal journal, or you will say it loud, or is it in your head?
Just thanks for... I'm literally going through the day, and it's the positives, but also the negatives.
So you go through the day and you say, this was...
Yeah, I'm like, thank you that I was able to go swimming. Thank you that I got a message from my dad today. Thank you for that fight that I had today with my business partner. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you for that client that complained about something because it allows us to get better. Thanks for this, thanks for that, thanks for that. And then I'm like, all right. And then I pass out.
Man, the thing with you, by the way, and I always used to remember this from many years that I know you, last 7 years, you always used to be the very positive guy, you know. Yeah. No matter what happens to you, you are always positive. So what is the secret? Why don't you tell us, hey, listen, how...
It's a muscle. it's a muscle that
So
you build.
you are telling me that you don't have any moments in your day that you are negative?
All
like
the time. I got so many negative time all the time. I mean, ask him, ask Primoz. I have really negative time. But here's the funny thing.
But how long they last though?
That's exactly the thing. They last shorter and shorter and shorter because it's a muscle. So back in the days, like at this time, 2017, something menially bad would happen. It would fuck with me for a month. Right now, things that are literally 100 times worse happen, fuck with me for half a day. So you get to compress the feeling bad more and more and more, and then it instantly switches into gratitude. You know what? I'm happy that helped me. And it's so crazy every time some shit happens. I'll give you an example, a very recent example. It was last month. Last month, for 2 weeks, one of our main closers got sick, terribly sick, had to go to the hospital. He's fine now, God bless. But this is one of our main closers. So that means, this guy usually closes like 100-something K per month. So he's missing for 2 weeks, right? So you instantly cash flow down, everything down, sales numbers down, projections almost go like a third down, right? And we're investing so much into just scaling that our profit margins are much thinner than usual. So that fucks with you. It really fucks with you. And then I'm looking at that, and my first response, I'm naturally a very hysterical person. I got that from my mom, or I got it from whatever. I'm not shifting the responsibility here, but I'm a hysterical person. I'm like, okay, we got to fix this right. And then what I did is I'm like, okay, we need a new closer anyway. Let's go hire a new closer. Found a great closer, great guy. Hire him. First day he quits. So I'm like adding insult to injury, now it's even worse. So I'm like, fuck. And then I'm thinking back to, I'm like, hold on a second, Max. You've been through so much more shit for so much longer. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Get back to the grind. All good. 2 hours later, this all good even turned into, you know what? I'm so happy this happened. Because now I know we can't rely on this, can't rely on that. We got to hire more people. Boom, 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 boom. I grinded my ass off. 2 weeks later, closes come back, comes out swinging. I think he closed like 40K in his first day or something like that. And I'm like, oh, welcome back. And he's like, I just wanted to show you guys that you guys should miss me. He really was sick, but he like overperformed right away in his first day. So that is really like the secret is always like staying calm.
Yeah, but do you like when you have someone that you have to rely on? I mean, maybe that was also a wake-up call for you.
Yes,
that holy shit, why do I need to rely all the time for this?
100%. But also, again, see the positive thing about that. You can say like, wow, I have a team member that's crushing it so much, and when he's not there, you really notice it, right? Imagine you have a closer and he's not there, and you're like, nothing changes. Why are you here? Who the hell did I hire? So again, there I switched it into gratitude, and I'm like, holy cow, our A players are performing at such a high level that when that person is not there, things go down immediately. That's fucking amazing. You know what I should do? I should hire more guys like that. So number one, we make more money. And number two, if one of the guys is missing, it doesn't fuck with me. So again, here, all of a sudden, everything turned into gratitude. Gratitude that I got that lesson. Gratitude that I have someone that has such an impact on the company in the first place. Gratitude that this happened right now and not a month ago or a month later, where it could have potentially fucked us even more. So at the end of the day, it's all just fucking gratitude. And that creates now a reference point in my brain for the inevitable shitstorm that happens again, because you guys know it. You told me this earlier. There's always ups and downs. So there's going to be the next down inevitably. So I have this anchor point. So the next thing that's going to happen 2, 3, 4, 1 month from now, my mind is going to go overdrive again. Fuck. You're so, oh my God. And I'm like, hold on a second. October 2023. Remember? Yes. You got out of it. You made a ton of money. So, and then I'm like, well, I guess. And it always brings me back to this one sentence. It's like, your track record of coming out alive is 100%. It's 100%. You wouldn't be here, right? So it can't be that bad. Like your track record, yours, the listener, mine, is literally 100%. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this. So that's a pretty fucking good track record, right? Imagine you invest in a stock that has 100% success rate every single year. That would be the best stock in the world, right? Imagine you have a girlfriend that loves you and is loyal to you 100% of the time. Best girlfriend in the world. Imagine you have a brother that you can rely on 100% of the time. Best brother in the world. So that's you. That's you right now. You listening or you guys sitting here, your track record of surviving shit is 100%. Congratulations. You're perfect. And guess what? The moment it's not 100% anymore and it literally kills you, at least you don't have to stress anymore. So that's kind of like my mindset behind that, you know?
Man, these stories that you said actually with the employees that he left and all of this, my brother is experiencing almost every year there is a story with him.
No, we had one 2 weeks ago. Like it was the first time like during the same week, 2 girls from, you know, we also have remote employees. Yeah. When it's remote, it's easier to fire people and so on.
As weird as it sounds, but
yeah, it is, let's be honest. But when it's people physically into the office, then it's more difficult. Yeah, so one of the girls, like, they came to me, you know, I have some health issues, I want to resign. Okay, no problem. And then we started interviews. Then the next week where we were ready to have the new girl starting, immediately the other one just came, our video editor, she said to me, I want to resign. So I was like, oh shit, no, again this. And then at the same time, Xenios,
it's also the me, Xenios Fitness, someone decided, okay, I'm leaving. And then in every of our company, like someone left in the same week.
Same week on Xenios Fitness and the same week on Cop Member.
Yeah.
Somebody left.
Mine was so bad for us actually the last 3 weeks. You cannot imagine. Oh, this person decides to leave. And we're talking, in my case, as for example, the coach that left, he used to work for me for 2.5 years. You understand? When you lose an employee like this, that, listen, I don't even speak to him because he's so good. Yeah. Like, don't even need to have communication with them. That's how good they are. They just work on their own. They do the job. No complaints, nothing. And then 2.5 years after, oh, listen, this happened and I have to quit. Then it's a really big problem.
When it rains, it pours, you know? It really is like that. Do you guys do weekly one-on-ones with every staff members?
Well, which business?
You cannot do weekly. That's my opinion.
I mean, you guys must have, how many employees do you have over three companies? Yeah.
Well, it's 13. We're close to 18. Like if you put everybody.
Yes, but Coop member, we're talking about very big team because obviously we're not the main shareholders there. One of the main shareholders is the biggest marketer in Germany, and his employees is like.
You want to shout him out?
Oh yeah, sure. Raul.
Shout out to Raul
Plicat.
You know what's funny? As a quick side tangent. I've written with Raul a lot of times on Instagram, you know, stuff like that. Heard a lot about him, and then first time I met him in person was at the Baulig party. Also, shout out to the Bauligs, and it was so funny. He was like standing there at the entrance in his suit, and I was there with my suit, and I'm like, Raul, it's so nice to meet you in person. He's like, yeah, you too, man. And we shook hands, and we just stared at each other. I'm like, anyways, see you later. Like, it was like the most awkward thing. We were just like, all right, see you later, man. Yeah, it was kind of funny when you, like, I've never been as awkward with anyone as with him, but yeah, shout out, cool guy. So what I noticed is people don't quit out of nowhere. We always call it they implode, and it builds up over time. And I've had this many times too. It's like someone's crushing it all the time. I'm like, they're crushing it. And then they're like, hey, I've been suffering in silence for 6 months. I quit, right? Because it's imploding.
It's the environment, man. It's the environment which is important.
Could be anything. And then what we're doing now, especially since we fled Ukraine, where everything is online, right? Because you don't see someone coming to the office. You don't see their face. Hey, something's wrong. What's up? So we do weekly one-on-ones with everyone. And sure, we have 20-something employees now, so we split it up. So sales team, they get a weekly one-on-one with sales manager in 1 week, and then the next week they have weekly one-on-ones with me. And it's just 30 minutes. I had one on the way here with one of our new setters. And here's the funny thing. It's always 30-minute slots, and I always tell them, look, There's nothing we need to do on this call. If you want to do some extra training, we'll do some extra training. If you want to do drills, we'll do drills. If you want to talk about freaking StarCraft, we'll do it. And it's really crazy because when you work with a lot of young people, you really notice that they are in need of a mentor. And nobody has a freaking mentor. If you're lucky, your dad or your mom are really smart and really good, and they're there for you even when you grow up. But most people don't have that, right? And I feel like because I have a lot of younger staff, I think I'm actually the oldest in my company. No. We got a ton of people that are older than me nowadays, actually. But oftentimes you kind of take over a mentor role for a lot of your staff. And I have, on these weekly one-on-ones, I sometimes have people that are like, hey, I have trouble with my girlfriend. I have trouble with my boyfriend. Hey, my parents, this, that. They just go really deep. And
Interesting. So you talk about personal stuff also?
Yeah. And I really feel that there's a need for them to talk about something. For whatever reason, maybe they don't have friends that are close enough for them, or their friends are too close, so they want to talk about this, right? So the fact that you were their boss and you don't know them as well, they can open themselves up more. But what I always feel is just like, I have this thing that's on my shoulder, and I'm happy that I can talk about this. Not always. Sometimes it's just talking about video games. It doesn't matter. But sometimes it's like, hey, by the way, I have this huge issue. And every time that happens, I'm like, okay, so here's a setter, and he says he's been having this huge issue for the last 2 weeks, and it's really bothering him. And I'm like, if I didn't have this one-on-one with this guy right now, and this issue just gets bigger and bigger, it blows up, this guy's going to quit 2 months from now. So it's always like the shit building up, and then you have a one-on-one with them, and then you diffuse it. And it never goes up to a high enough degree where they then rage quit. Or even if they have an issue with the company where they say, hey, by the way, so-and-so that I'm working with, I just don't get along with them well, right? And it's all these small things that you catch super early, so it never blows up and then they quit. I mean, they can still quit. They're still, I'm not saying this is like the perfect system or anything, but it's really interesting, and it really only takes 30 minutes per person per week for me. So, it's like it's like 3 hours or something per week for me. But these are 3 hours that are very, very well invested, because you're giving these people something that they can't get anywhere else. So I always put it like that with employees. You're in a market, right? It's almost like with dating, right? Like if you're a high quality man or high quality woman, you're in the market and you beat a lot of other quote unquote offers that are out there, right? So if you want to make sure that your wife or your girlfriend still finds you sexy 5, 6, 7, 8 years later after you're married or whatever, well, make sure you're still the awesome guy or the most awesome option for her, and vice versa. And it's exactly the same with employees, because you're competing, especially the moment an employee gets really good because you train them to be really freaking awesome. They're going to look around. They're going to get other offers. I guarantee you. I know this because a lot of times people come to us from other offers and they say, hey, over there I'm getting paid this. Over there I don't have daily meetings. Over there I don't have one-on-ones. Over there the delivery sucks. You guys are much cooler. Like, I want to work with you guys. So we know that. And probably we've had a bunch of people leave us and go to competitors as well.
Or they steal your idea and start their own business.
Not even talking about that. Happened literally multiple times where employees would steal stuff from us, try to sell it. God bless, none of them has ever succeeded because we make it look really easy. But that happens too. So in my head, I'm like, things like one-on-ones, being reachable via WhatsApp, helping them out with personal stuff, sometimes if necessary. Those are all valuable boxes that you can tick that other employers don't have, because other employers are 90% freaking lazy. Other employers say, oh, I'm going to hire a closer. Here's the list. Go close. They don't do daily call reviews. We do daily freaking closer call reviews. We do daily trainings, daily drills, daily sales team meetings. We have EODs. We have structure. The setter that I had one-on-one with today, he's a new setter. It was my first or second one-on-one with him. And he says, you know what I like about your company? It's so freaking precise. When you say we'll have a meeting, you say we'll have a meeting in 27 minutes. You don't say 30 minutes max. You say 27 minutes. I love that. I love the vision. I love this. I love that. Like, we're so over communicating. It's almost like a mini fight club. We have values that we repeat every time. We go through wins every single time. And I didn't used to be like that. When that Max over there was exactly the kind of shitty employer that almost everybody is. It's like, can you do the thing? Cool, you're hired. Don't bother me, right? And then I'd be surprised when they quit because I would never freaking talk to them. And nowadays, sure, I'm busier, but I'm also making a ton more money. And what I'm doing is I invest so much in these freaking people that over time they either break and they go away because they were just not as much of an A player as I hoped they would be, or they freaking step up and they become fucking beasts. And what happens then is, if you do it right, number one, they become beasts, which means their output extrapolates. It goes exponentially up. Number two, they're freaking grateful because you were the person who brought them there, who made them into a beast. And number three, because you actually give a damn about them, you have these one-on-ones, you do all these things, they're like, I could go anywhere, I could close for Grant Cardone, but I want to be here, man, because this guy actually gives a shit. I have my family here, I got my team here, my brother, sisterhood. And that's how you bind employees. I don't want to say for a lifetime because it never lasts forever, but for a very long time. And that's kind of what I noticed when you go from 6 figures a year. You guys know this probably as well. When you go from 6 figures a year, so in order to go from 0 to 6 figures a year, it's all about your skill, right? Like, how well can you get clients? How well can you coach? How well can you create content? When you go from 6 figures to 7 figures, it's all about how well can you create systems that kind of replicate stuff? How well can you do that on scale? And here's the crazy thing. If you want to go from 7 figures to 8 figures, it's none of that. And it's like 99% how well can you hire and manage people? And that's a skill set that most people don't have. Because if you're a dating coach, you get proportionally paid to how good you are at dating, right? If you're a programming coach, you get proportionally paid to how good you can do programming and how good you can teach that. But then all of a sudden you're making 7 figures as a programming coach, and now it's like, yo, forget all the programming. You now have to literally understand people. And that's a skill set for a lot of people that they've never had to learn, right? So all of a sudden you have to hire people. You have to understand how they work, what drives them, what motivates them, how do they think. It's literally like at some point you almost get to read people's minds. And the crazy thing is that happened to me so many times in the last year where I'm like, hey, so-and-so is going to leave. Let's hire a replacement. We hired a replacement. Replacement gets trained, starts working. The person that I predicted leaves. And she's like, I remember that. She was writing me like, hey, sorry, blah, blah, blah. Just like you said, like some personal stuff. I'm leaving. And I'm like, and she's like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, don't worry, we already hired your replacement. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I knew that you were going to leave. I knew it like 3 months ago. And she's like, I just made the decision last week. How did you know? And I'm like, I just feel it. I feel it in the way they speak. I feel it in the way they write a WhatsApp message. I freaking feel it. And that's a skill set. Nobody talks about this. At least not I've seen it.
Well, my brother understands this very well.
Just like you said, because everybody just talks about the numbers. Oh, the freaking opt-ins. It's actually, sure, it's about numbers for sure. But at some point, it's about the freaking people. Because you can only do so much yourself. At some point, you have to rely on others. You have to build others up. It's just a freaking people's game. People. I mean, you probably know this better. Like, people like Grant Cardone, he probably has like 20, 30 crazy executive A players that are absolute beasts. The marketing guy, the ads guy, sales team 1, sales team 2, cold outreach. I bet every single one of the guys that are in executive positions are freaking A+ players, and that's why Grant Cardone is so big. That's my guess.
I agree with you, 100%.
Long
like
rant, I'm sorry.
To be honest, like what you say, I totally agree with you. Like, we started alone, like everybody, and now we see it more, like that we need to rely on our people to do this. Personally, I mean, I don't know, how long is your longest employee with you?
6 years, pretty much. 5 years.
5.5.
It's literally you,
5
right?
and a half?
Yeah.
Man, I have an employee, our system admin. He works with us. I hired him the first year I started. Wow. Basil, it's with us. 8 years on Slack. There was 8 years. 8 years. The company is 9 years old. The company is 9 years old. He's 8 years.
Damn.
Crazy. We have a people 4 years. We have 6 years. And now 5, I think now.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, but it's what you say. You need to be also a good mentor. And the fact that this guy came on you and he started talking about his family, about his girlfriend, so it means that you're doing a good job actually.
Probably, yeah.
You're doing a good job. I remember I had the same thing. I used to work for Cisco actually in Silicon Valley. And I had an amazing manager. It was a woman, Cindy. Shout out to Cindy. She crazy, like best manager I ever had. Like we were a team of 120 people.
Wow.
She would make the time to talk to me, to mentor me.
Wow.
You need to do this, you need to do that, you need to grow on this role. And she was like believing on me. Like sometimes like she believes more on me than I believe on myself. Like it was crazy. So the most important thing is that I think is to show to them that you trust them and you really trust them. So, or for example, Alex, who he's doing business development for us. Like, I don't mind how much he's gonna close the deal. I just trust him that he will close the deal. I know he will be all right. Wow. So when you show the trust, then I believe you get the result. But of course, you show the trust, but you monitor it. Because sometimes people like, okay, he's trusting me, I will do whatever I want. And then they take advantage. So it's like a rope, and they pull the rope out, and they take all the rope, and there's no rope left on your side. That's my understanding. And as we go now, we became more, let's say we do more checks before we hire somebody now. We do like, we take longer to hire, but we hire better people because we do like interviews, we do tests, we do psychological tests, character as well, and so basically we do anybody that gets hired.
What was the last thing?
Character to see.
Character, yeah.
Yes.
Not personality. It's
Personality, behavior, basically.
Sometimes you have really good employees, but their attitude is not really the best. You understand, and it can also destroy the vibe with the other employees here. I mean, we had this,
especially when it's office, when it's in person. You need to be super careful not to break down the vibe, not to break down the environment.
We had an employee like a year ago that she left, and everyone from the other employees was complaining, hey, listen, this person is doing this and that.
No, she left and they were having a party actually.
Yeah, imagine that someone leaves and the people were celebrating.
It was crazy. I mean,
what did they do? What was so bad about him?
Many small things, like I'll tell you a story what I did with her actually. I can go crazy basically sometimes. So basically, it's this army thing that comes into my mind all the time. So I was traveling in February to Greece, and I was with my wife on the airport, and I was on the phone. I was on Instagram, and I saw an ad about a customer of us. We were doing like a basically, how do you call it? It's like a competition. So, like giveaway. We're doing a giveaway, and the giveaway was out, and there was a video, a real video, and it was writing, okay, the prize one was like, I don't remember, like a bottle of wine and then whatever and so on, and they wrote the word prize. Which means award, instead of they put a C, so it's like prize.
Oh, price and prize.
And I see that.
It's giveaway. You have to pay.
Like 10,000 prize instead of price.
I see that, and I was like, oh my God, who wrote this? Oh my God.
Oh no.
And I called the office, loudspeaker. Everybody was hearing me. Who wrote the ad? It was her. Don't want to mention names now. I said to her, listen, because it wasn't the first time she did a mistake, like this. I said to her, listen, I'm coming back to Cyprus in 3 days. The moment I put my foot in the office, you need to show me A4 paper. One side you're going to write price with C, and the other one you're going to write price with Z. So you understand the difference. So I came back from the trip. Where is the paper?
Oh.
She thought I was like kidding. Yeah. No, I'm not joking. Where is the paper? The paper is not here. She didn't wrote it. I was like, what? You didn't write it? Okay. Go home. Go home. It was.
I mean, the other employees, they were complaining that she's talking too much in the, talking too much in the office. Imagine that you have an employee like editing a video, and then someone is just trying to look at you at work and judge you at work, like, and it's not even your specialization. Like,
we don't even do that. So you know what our rule is like, even him and I, we work on the same table. Whenever we're in an Airbnb or in a villa or something, we don't talk. There's no, hey man, what about? It's like, no, write me on WhatsApp. I'm sitting across from him, like you sit across from me. It's like, you don't speak. You know, there's this, you know, when you say like, hey, you got a minute? You just fucking interrupted my entire thought process. No, well, I have a minute now because it's all gone, right? So we literally say, write me on WhatsApp, even though I stand right here.
I sent him a joke earlier, and he's like, with a straight face, ha ha ha. You know.
Yeah. Like, don't even tell me the joke in person. What is this? I'm busy. Write it on WhatsApp. That's how, like, you got to be so protective of your time, man. Like, and like you said, like, if there's an employee who brings others out of a focused state, that costs you a lot of money.
Question for you. When is the most productive time of the day for you?
Anytime. Zero fucks given.
Anytime?
Yes.
Really?
I don't care. I wake up and I grind, man. I wake up and I grind. Depends when I go to bed. Usually 8.5 hours after I go to bed. I wake up, I grind. So as I go to the bathroom, I weigh myself. I put in my macros from the day before. I measure my blood pressure, and then I grind. Then I grind for about an hour. Then I have breakfast. Then I grind for 2 hours. Then I hit the gym. Then I come back, shower, grind, eat, grind, sleep.
What about you? When's your most productive time in the day?
That's what I do now. Sorry, because there's also times where I'm like a month I do nothing.
schedule is different. I wake up in the morning. The first thing that I do, obviously, I'm gonna weight myself. Nice. I need to. I'm gonna check my stats of my sleep just to make sure that everything is good.
Yeah, how do you measure it with this thing?
Yeah, I have like a Whoop band.
But that's like Nicky Bra not approved.
Yeah, I know.
Because it has like electro something.
Look, I understand that basically some people are against this stuff, and it's totally acceptable. Personally, though, I like it because it's very useful to understand a little bit more how your HRV is over the time, how your resting heart rate is. I mean, this thing, man, got me to do more cardio, which I wasn't doing before. So, and at the same time, it prevented me a lot of times from injuries, because sometimes when you see that your recovery is really bad, you just don't want to take it much easier at the gym. But if you have had the crazy mindset that you saw back in the days, oh, let's go crazy and I don't care about any stats, and boom, injury. Oh, my back hurts.
How accurate is this thing though? I mean, does it
listen,
really...
I'm gonna tell you something. It's not 100% accurate, obviously. There is no device that is 100% accurate, but it's good indication to understand more the trends over time of your body. I mean, imagine that one of the most healthiest freaks on the planet, which is Brian Johnson. You know this guy, right?
Is that the guy that wants to remain 30 forever or some shit?
Yeah, this guy used to own Braintree, which I used to use that, by the way, before Stripe. Imagine the first payment gateway I used to use it was Braintree and PayPal, really. Okay. And I heard that this guy basically used to be the owner of Braintree. He sold it for $800 million. And
that's a juicy piece of cash.
I'm not exactly sure. Yeah. Imagine he got all cash, all this money. And then now what he's doing, he's spending $2 million per month on his health to basically live longer. And trust me, he's the guy that is making history right now, and he's projected to live for 170 years. Imagine, the first human ever to live for so...
I don't know, man.
I don't know, but we will see. We will see.
I look, he doesn't look healthy though.
It doesn't, bro, listen, it doesn't look like
some pale vegan
I 100% agree with you that it doesn't look healthy, but at the end of the day, it's what is his stats and his blood work and everything. I mean, if it's true what is published online about him, that is really impressive, that you have, 70 of the biomarkers, everything is optimized. That's really impressive. I mean, I guarantee to you that even if I check 17 biomarkers you check 17 biomarkers which will look healthy individuals, trust me, you're not gonna get everything right. I've done also blood work for clients, and I've never seen anyone like either pro athlete or in good shape, looking good. I've never seen anyone having everything perfect. It's like almost impossible. So back to the topic, I mean, yes, I understand that maybe it's not healthy, and obviously there is not really any proven study that it's unhealthy. Let's be realistic right now. There is no study about this, but obviously in 20, 30 years we will know. And I mean, it's useful for you to understand more about your sleep if you value your sleep.
You're selling me this thing right now, by the way. I'm gonna buy that.
Man, you can try.
I kind of want to know my sleep, to be honest.
You can try, and it's very accurate, to be honest with you. Whoopand, honestly, they're really cool. I'm partners with them actually. Yeah,
that's right.
No, I'm not in a way that I promote them to anyone. If you go on my social media, you will not see Xenios is not talking about this anywhere. But with my clients, we literally have it, and my brother doesn't have it right now on him, but we send it and engraved with Xenios Fitness on it and everything. It's very.
Can you get me one of those?
Yeah, I can send you one.
I'll pay for it, but I'd love to have one just to test it.
Yeah, I can send you one.
Awesome, man.
Kevin bought it because of me.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So basically, just to make a quick recap about these devices, okay? These devices is good for you to check, let's say, your stats and sleep and understand more your body. But obviously, you need to understand that you don't need to get on the other extreme part, that you get addicted so much to the data that basically sometimes it can bring you psychologically down. Oh my God, my recovery is not so good today.
Yeah, you get too dependent on it.
You need to use it in a smart way. This is also what I say to my clients. Okay, sometimes look, if the recovery is really bad, I mean, you also need to do your self-examination. Hey, how do you feel? I mean, I will tell you a personal example. I mean, usually when my recovery is like 50, 55%, which obviously is not really good. I mean, it's yellow. You don't really notice this when you do normal workouts. But if you are going to do like a very high intense workout, and what is a high intense workout? Let's say I have to do 5 reps of deadlift and I need to go very heavy. Amen. I will notice this that if I do 180 kilos deadlift 5 reps, I will not be able to do 5 reps. I will be able to do like 3 reps.
I do 110, I think.
Bro, listen, 180 is nothing. I used to do, my record was 230 kilos. I have this on video for 1 rep. And I'm not the biggest guy, by the way. I used to be 68 kilos when I've done this. It was like a record in my gym.
How much body fat did you have at 68?
I don't know. Like, it was very low. It was after competition. I used to do fitness model competitions back then. Miami Pro. I ended up 6th place out of 47 people. It was my first time doing competition. I did this by myself, by the way, no coaching from anyone. Like everything that I knew, I put my knowledge down together and I just coached myself to go and do it. Will I could do better? Yes, but I realized that in fitness competitions is basically who then judges they like. Yeah. If they don't like you, it doesn't matter if you have the best physique out of everything. Again, this is the recap about these devices. You don't need to rely on them. They have their place, in my opinion. And you need to use them in the smartest way possible. Should you try this? I mean, in my opinion, yes. I mean, if you really care about your sleep and everything and doing the best decisions in the next day, try and see your stats and let's later on see, okay, what improvements you made with these stats. Because right now, let me explain you. Let's say you think that you have the best sleep, but in reality, because you don't really know what is your REM sleep, what is your hours of sleep, what is your pattern of sleep, let's say if you're going to make one improvement in your sleep, how will you actually know that it really helped you the next month? You understand? That's why it's really important to track the data. It's the same with your business. I'm sure your closers, they have a spreadsheet that they track every single call and everything. But look, you don't do this with your sleep. You understand? You just rely on you just rely on how you feel.
I don't do it. I track everything else. How the hell do I track my sleep?
But as I said, man, it's is it accurate? No. but it can basically help you to understand more your body over time. As I told you, in my case, it saved me so many times from injuries. If you ask me right now, hey, Xenios, when was the last time you got injured? Bro, honestly, last time I don't even remember. Honestly, I'm training for how many years right now? Since 2008. Right now it's 2023. And the last time I got injured, honestly, was maybe 5-6 years ago. Now, what I've done now, which is really interesting, I realize that the older you get, and I'm sure you realize it too, because you are training for so many years, now I start to have some minor issues with knees, maybe some tendonitis sometimes. Recently I had some lower back pinch, and basically I realized, wait a minute, I'm doing everything perfect with my training. I was thinking that I'm doing everything perfect with my nutrition also, but in reality, when I went to doing blood work, I realized that I had issues with inflammation and how fast my body is recovering.
Sauna, cold plunge, massage.
Bro, it's nothing of this stuff. Yeah. If I tell you what I did for me, I mean, for every person is different, obviously, because I check specific biomarkers, which is for the inflammations. And for example, in my case, I had 2 issues. I have issues with very high monocytes and also issues with very high creatine kinase. It's one of the biomarkers. And basically what I did to fix this, I introduced to my diet turmeric, which is very high in curcumin. And basically, since I started to introduce around 1,000 milligrams a day, man, I no longer have issues with tendonitis, with inflammations, nothing. Because the issue, even though I was thinking that I'm doing everything perfect, was that I was missing something with my diet, which is basically more turmeric, more curcumin, which is basically helps with inflammations. Yeah. So this is a personal problem which I solved. I mean, I had another client, he had shoulder issues. I had another client with knee issues. They do MRI scan, and the MRI scan shows that you have nothing, no injury, nothing. But in reality, you go and do blood work and you realize that.
So it's funny that you mentioned that, because for me, it was exactly the same. That I have no issues with the gym. I'm crushing it. And then I feel it now that I'm older when I have a month of no massage, of no mobility, a month of just pushing and no active recovery. I don't feel it until boom, I wake up and something hurts really badly. So the margin for error gets less when you're older. That's what I feel like.
Yes, but there is always ways to reduce it. Because at the end of the day, look, we are still really young, if you think about it. I am 29. Yes. How old are you? Like
33.
Man, you're still young, to be honest with you.
The crazy thing is, I think we, like our generation, for us, it will be relatively normal to go up to 100.
Bro, listen, the new standard right now is 120, 130, in my personal opinion.
Here's the crazy thing, like you're 29 right now. Imagine that plus 100 years.
You know, I was talking to my cousin. He's like 10 years old, and they fed in his brain that the average human life is around 70 to 80 years old. And I explained to him, listen, you're much younger than me. Trust me, the new end of the life of humans is around maybe 120, 130. But there is a but. If you eat healthy and if you exercise, if you eat bullshit, if you don't exercise, if you don't take care of your health, if you're drinking alcohol, if you're smoking, don't expect to get anywhere close to that. Yeah. So the whole point is, you don't need to do the most perfect training. You don't need to do the most perfect diet, but you need to really careful what you are doing, and at the same time you need to do blood check every year, because sometimes, look, you see a person like you, perfectly healthy looking individual, but maybe I do blood work to you, and then I check that, hey, like, Max, listen, in 10 years, bro, listen, maybe you get a heart attack or something.
Yeah. It's so important what you just said, that because people often say it's like, oh, well, I feel good, I'm fine, I feel great. Right, but you should still do blood tests. I do blood tests 2 to 4 times per year.
Yeah, but you know what's the issue? So what do you check?
I don't know. I literally have people who tell me what to check. So, but here's the thing. What I want to 100% agree. 100% agree. And what you said is really, really important, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because it's not just because people say, well, I don't care. Well, you might not care, but the people that depend on you, right? If you have a team, if you have clients, even if you don't have that, your freaking family, your kids, right? Like you want your kids to grow up without a dad, without a mom, just because you don't care. Like that's selfish, right? And then if you think about it, man, like we could potentially live to 100, 120, 130. That's 100 extra years of Formula One. That's like 100 seasons, 100 seasons of Formula One or whatever, like Counter-Strike 3 or 2, Counter-Strike 2 coming out now. Imagine 100 years, Counter-Strike 70, and it's like real. It's like in your brain and you're running around and like the awesome stuff that is waiting for us. Like we will look back at this and we're like, what kind of dog shit technology? You had to speak into a microphone. Like you had to watch it on a freaking screen. What is this tiny fucking screen? What is this? A screen for ants? In 20 years, you're going to press a button and it's going to play in your brain. And you're just going to sit there like,
the Apple Vision, you've seen that?
what?
The Apple Vision?
Is that in your brain?
No, the headset of Apple that is coming next year. That's sick.
This is clunky, stupid ass. Look how stupid these people look. Like headset, what the hell? They couldn't even have it in their brain back. You know, like you're just gonna be plugged in eternal bliss. Like, hey, you want to have the feeling of 4 hours of continuous orgasm? Just press this button. How cool! Like you want the Avatar 6? Yeah, remember when you had to go to a cinema and look at the stupid screen and you sit on the chair? Yeah, Avatar 6 is you're in Pandora. You're like in the Avatar movie. You run around, you swim underwater. Like that's what it's gonna be. We're gonna look at this and like our kids are gonna be like what? You played video games like staring at a thing? That must be so boring. Just like we look now at like Pong, you know, the first video game. We're like, how the fuck did you play this? This is stupid.
Our cousin that we used to have TVs that are fat and he couldn't understand it. What is this?
It's this thing behind your TV. Why is there such a big thing?
He couldn't believe it when I showed him.
You, with our little cousin, he's 10 years now.
Shout out. What's his name?
Kyriakos.
Kyriakos. Shout out, man.
Like this guy is like, sometimes I talk to him, he's so much on YouTube and they have like there is some new social media just for like gaming. I was like, what's that? Really? I was like, what is it? I don't remember the name. I was like, he blows my mind away sometimes. Like sometimes I feel old when I talk to him.
But seriously. You know what prediction though I made for this generation?
For ours or
no, for them this generation.
Right,
this is my personal prediction, by the way. No offense to anyone. But maybe in a few years from now, they will play this specific clip. So I predict that 10 years olds, like 11 years olds, I truly predict that it's going to be the dumbest generation ever in history. And I will explain you why.
Let's go. That's a real Instagram clip right there.
No, let me explain you why.
Clip right there.
So the reason I believe this is going to be the most dumb generation ever is, if you notice now with AI, with ChatGPT, you press a click of a button and everything is ready for you. But let me explain you. The smart person is also the person who is understanding how this is generated. Now, if let's say this generation, like the 9-year-old, because I heard literally that they're doing the essays in school with it, if you don't really understand the logic of how the essay was created, then basically you are earning nothing from this. So you don't really understand the logic of everything. If I use ChatGPT, it's not because I don't know how to do it. I know how to do everything that it does. It's just to make it faster. That's the whole thing. Yeah. Or maybe to get an idea that maybe I can't think of. So why do I think it's going to be the most dumb generation? Because this generation, they don't understand literally the logic of how everything is created. Yeah. And if you understand the logic, you are always ahead of everyone. Because obviously the people who understand the logic is also the people who create this stuff.
And they profit from it.
Obviously. Yeah. So this is my personal prediction that these kids, this generation, they really need to understand the logic behind this stuff. It's also what I call sometimes reverse engineering. If let's say you see something that is working, you want to do reverse engineering to go basically back and understand every single step backwards.
Yeah.
So you go to the beginning of how it started. I don't know how to explain this, but people can Google what is reverse engineer.
I get what you mean.
So they need to be careful, in my opinion. They need to be careful because honestly, I truly believe that everyone is talking about AI and all the benefits that it has. Look, it has benefits for me and you because for so many years we've done everything on ourselves. We've done the email ourselves, we've done programming ourselves, we've done Facebook ads on ourselves, we've done websites on ourselves, we've done contracts on ourselves. Right now you can do all of this stuff with AI. But in my case, I know how to do all this stuff without AI. This generation right now, they have everything ready. You understand? So they are dependent on these things. So if one day OpenAI, ChatGPT goes down, holy shit, what am I going to do right now? You understand? So this is my personal prediction. I know it sounds really bad, and it's not an offense to anyone. It's just an advice that you need to understand what is the logic behind everything. Don't just get the outcomes. The smart person will think, okay, I got this outcome, but how did it actually give me this outcome?
Yeah.
What are the steps that it took?
Yeah. Sergio, what do you share? Do you share this?
I 100% agree. I'm going to tell you an example that happened today actually. So we're now hiring a developer. So we do the process, like the first step is I talk to them, I see if they can communicate properly, if they are familiar with the languages that we code, and then basically I have a test. And the test, it's 3 tests: personality, Laravel test, which is a language, and Vue.js, which is a language. So we send out tests. And today I was talking with our lead developer, who works with us like 5 years now. As he said to me, but why do we send out the test? That test is dumb, he said to me. Like, they can go on ChatGPT and do it. I said to him, listen, we do the test. Number 1, I want to see who does it, because it takes 3 hours to do the test. Okay? So the person who does the test, he really wants to work for us. Okay? Second, we do the test, but then we have another interview in the end, which is technical interview. So even if he goes to ChatGPT, then he will fail the third step, basically. But I agree with Xenios. They have everything ready. They don't know the logic. They just play around. It's like you coming me in, Sergios, I'll give you a Ferrari. Get your Ferrari. Just a gift. Am I going to enjoy it?
No.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
There's no work behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you buy it yourself, it's like, if it feels different, you know?
I'm curious, how is university right now? People, honestly.
Oh my God.
Bunch of wokies. Nobody's working hard.
I'm really
I don't know, probably they just do, they have a homework, okay, homework, no problem. Go online, press the button, get out.
Now in our generation, you've been to university, right? You study...
I studied musicology first and then Latin and English.
Yes, I remember that.
I didn't finish any of it.
But if you remember, back in the days when we used to study, we used to use Google a lot.
Yeah.
And basically the student who used to know how to use Google obviously could also pass any exam they want, everything. But the thing is, if you use Google, you need to put effort. You need to know how to do research. You need to put your brain to work. With ChatGPT, you don't even need to do anything.
I get what you're saying. I get what both of you guys are saying. And I agree. But counter argument, just for the sake of arguing about it, like the generation before us said the same about us. Oh, this generation is going to be just the dumbest generation ever because they can just Google stuff.
Bro, listen, but
I had to go to the library.
But who said that our generation is smart?
Good point. I like that. I always consider myself relatively dumb, and I just counteract that with really hard work. But I think we've been saying that the generation after us is going to be even dumber forever. Yet, we're sending spaceships to Mars. Yet we're creating artificial
Yeah,
intelligence.
but bro, listen.
We're creating all these cool things.
Yeah, but you forgot something. The people that they do this stuff is just the 1%.
Sure.
What happened?
Been just the 1%?
Yeah, it was always used to be this way. I agree with you, but in my opinion, it's becoming less and less now. It's just very few people that they control the world. I mean, if you go and do a very well research, there is one company that owns all of these companies. Let's say.
True. I agree with you. I choose to be optimistic.
Bro,
I
listen.
always am.
Nowadays, you know what is the goal? How to make everything easy. How to put the most dopamine to people. Let them play video games. Let them press the button on their phone. The food is here. Let's create the food in a way that they keep ordering and ordering from us. Let's make them fatter and fatter.
Without that, we wouldn't have penicillin. Without that, we wouldn't have that watch. Without that, we wouldn't have shoes. Because the freaking caveman 2,000 years ago was like, hey, 200,000 years ago was like, hey, if I kill the bear and take his fur and put it on my body, it's easier for me because it's warm. Right?
But let me tell you something. When everything is easy, though, in your life, how are you going to survive when the hard times is going to come?
We found a way. You and I found a way, even though things were really freaking easy.
Yeah, but I'm telling you that nowadays, that because everything is becoming easier and easier, actually is much better for us because it creates much less competition.
I was going to say the same.
There is no competition anymore. That's it.
Hell yeah. Like, bring it on. Like, it was already kind of easy for us back then to stand out. For like our kids, if we do a good job as parents, it's going to be even easier.
Man, let me give you an example, and I'm sure you will relate to this. If, let's say, you were born in a rich family and you had everything ready, statistically speaking, the kids, because they have everything ready and they don't really understand what is hard work, because obviously the parents, they give everything. Obviously the parents work really, really hard to give you everything because that's what they think is the right thing to do. You ending up with kids that basically they are not really motivated to do big things. They are not really doing anything. But if, let's say, you grew up in an environment where, let's say, your family wasn't the richest, or your parents, they used to grew you up in the most hard way possible and basically give you only the things that you need, which in my opinion, this is the right thing to do, to give only the things that you need. You realize that at some point you get motivated as the child and you just push more and want to achieve more, and basically this is how motivation is created, and that's where you are right now today. I mean, if I'm 100% sure that if I ask where you are coming from, I'm pretty sure that you will tell me, hey, listen, with my family, we didn't have everything.
Correct.
I'm sure about this, right?
Exactly. But then also the question is, like, do people become successful because of that or despite that? So that's always like, I get what you're saying and I agree, but also there's nuance, because there is people that grow up in a shitty family. They have nothing. And I think we talked about this earlier. It's like, instead of stepping up, they turned bitter. They turned what? They turned bitter. So they say, you know what? I'm poor and life sucks. Everything is unfair. Poor me. And now they become poor. And then their kids become poor, right? And you create this cynical attitude that's really hard to get out of. So, and then on the other hand, there's rich parents where, you know, the father worked his ass off for 30 years to build a Fortune 500 company, gets a son and says, son, I'm going to teach you everything there is about hard work, about being a smart person, about being thankful, and I'm going to help you build the first business and get a ton of lessons in. And now the kid grows up and becomes educated, motivated. I think, I'm sure certain things like growing up in a challenging environment can be a contributing factor, but could also be a detrimental factor. And I think the biggest deciding factor is good parenthood, because you can grow up poor and have parents that give you love, trust, and tell you, hey, listen, I didn't make it because I had this in this situation, but you can, and I trust you as my son, as my daughter, and we're going to work hard, and we might not have all the resources and opportunities, but we're going to counterbalance that with extra hard work. But at the same time, you can also grow up with parents that just don't give a shit. and they're emotionally unavailable. They create an environment of distrust, punishment, it's so crazy. You know this because you guys work with a lot of people, a lot of B2C and B2B clients. Like, it's crazy sometimes when you hear from someone, oh, my parents always told me I'm never going to amount to something. And in my head, I come from a very loving household. And I was always told the opposite of like, hey, if you want to do something, go do it. I think you can do it. You should just work hard. And I'm flabbergasted whenever there's parents who tell it to their own child. Like, look at you, you dumb kid. Like, what you want to build a business? Pff, look at you. You're not going to make it. Like, that coming from your own parents, like, what has to be wrong in your head to say this to your son? What the fuck? Like, how the fuck are you allowed to even have a kid to say this to your, like, you don't even need to mean it, you know what I mean? Like, you can be like, oh, our son is kind of dumb, but great, Timmy, you're going to be president, you know what I mean? Like, at least fucking say it. You don't have to mean it, because it can destroy you as a person. Like, you can be 30 years old, and because your dad told you when you're 10 that you're stupid, it will still fuck with you. So, you know, kids are like a sponge. I don't have kids yet, but they're like a sponge. They soak up everything. So if a kid feels like you don't trust in him or her, they feel that. And funny enough, just to chime in on that, just to rant a little bit more real quick, when I had the opportunity to work as an assistant for RSD, you know the story. We have talked about it many times. I told my parents, listen, I quit my university, but I have this opportunity to work for free in the United States, unpaid. I have to pay my own flight, my own food, my everything, but I can crash on the couch, and I need $16,000 to afford that trip for 6 months. And they were like, what the fuck? You were always a smart kid. You were good at university. How come you quit all of a sudden? Where is this all coming from? And my dad pulled me aside. I remember he went into my room and he said, Max, I don't think this is a good idea. I think this is a really dumb idea. You probably haven't thought this through. But I also know, because I know you as my son, that everything you've done so far, you've pulled through. You wanted to learn guitar, you learned it. You wanted to start a band, you did it. You wanted to get all A's in your last year of high school, you fucking did it. So here's the money. And I flew close. So I borrowed money from my parents, from my best friend, Andre, back then, my first client, my brother, and my bank. I had $16,000 in debt. 2 weeks later, I was on that flight to Miami. Worked my fucking ass off. Started getting paid back all my debt. First paid my parents, then paid back to RSD. Went on a world tour, first world tour, second world tour, third world tour, made my fourth world tour, made my first million. Moved to Helsinki, met my girlfriend, moved to Kiev, built a business, had 2 offices, 20-something employees. I walk back from the gym randomly, listen to music, and I think about that moment where my dad said, I don't think it's a good idea, but I trust you as my son that you always do the right thing because you always pull through. And I start crying, waterfall crying tears, because I didn't realize all these years what my dad actually did. But what he actually did was saying, I trust in your capabilities as a 20-year-old kid. I trust in your capabilities more than I trust my own judgment as your father. That's how much I trust you as my son. And I realized that is the greatest gift a father can give a son. To say, you're 20 years younger than me, but I trust you. And I'll never forget that about my dad. It was the best thing ever. And he's now in Cyprus, actually, profiting. He's profiting from me crushing it, you know. And I think that is something. Whatever I do as a father, and my mom always says, as a parent, you can only fail with dignity. I know I'll fuck up a lot of things, but as long as I don't fuck up that, as long as I can pass that on from my dad, showing my son or my daughter that I'll trust their judgment, I think then I'll win. I think that's the only thing I really want for my kids. I don't care if they want to become a broke artist or if they want to be a rich businessman or a freaking playboy entrepreneur, whatever it is. I want them to know that I trust in their capabilities. Yeah.
Nailed it. I was about to ask you, but you answered already how much impact your father had on your success, but you answered already.
He's legend. And it's funny because now he's here in Cyprus with us, and I'm just complaining all the time because he's so messy. And I'm like, Dad, what the fuck? Huh? I should have. Well, he's here with his girlfriend, and they're just, snorkeling or whatever. And it's so funny when he's here. He's such a goofy, cool character. I woke him up today in the morning. I'm like, Dad, let's go for a walk. And he's like, huh? What? He's 60 now, he's old.
You said he's profiting from you?
I mean, he's profiting because he's now in Cyprus, right? He's staying for free in a sick villa. I'm like, Dad, come visit us,
Max is his cow.
Exactly. I'm his cow. I should use that. That's like your jargon. Like whenever something makes a lot of money, it's a cow.
Yeah.
I freaking love it.
You know that I had similar story actually.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I mean, in my story, when I was in London, I used to study. I finished my bachelor degrees in network engineering, and then I got accepted to University College London. I was about to study masters in internet engineering. Damn. Yeah.
That's right. You're an engineer as well. Both of you guys are engineers, right?
Yeah, man. My brother used to also work in Silicon Valley. That's where all the best programmers on the planet. They literally work in Silicon Valley. I'm sure you've been there before because you've done work.
Yeah, I was there. I did a seminar there 2 or 3 times. Yeah. I didn't like it. San Fran is weird, man. We went running once in a park there. We had an Airbnb, and we just arrived there. Me and my assistant Vinny, and we went for a run because we just arrived from like frickin' some other city. We're like, let's go for a run. So we went for a run. And then the next day we told Jeffy, my friend who lives in San Fran, I'm like, yeah, this is the area. Oh yeah, we went to blah, blah, blah park for a run. And he's like, you went there at night? Like 2 days ago, someone got shot with a shotgun in that park. Anyway, sorry.
I'll tell you later a story with remind me.
Let's hear yours. So you started engineering.
Yeah, I started my master's in University College London. The first month, honestly, I hated it. I didn't like it at all. I realized I don't learn anything. Back then, I also had my online business. It wasn't making like a lot of money, like £500 a month.
That was fitness, or what was it?
Fitness, yeah.
Nice.
2016 was making around £500 a month. It was really good money as a student. Fucking hell, £500 extra. That's amazing.
On the internet,
online, doing nothing. Not nothing. I mean, I used to make YouTube videos and used to write workout programs, so it's something, right? Yeah. But anyway, I did the university for a month, and then I realized that I don't want to do this anymore. Like I just want to drop out. And then I called my parents. I told them, hey guys, listen, I don't really like it here. I don't really see the value. I just want to quit. And then it was September. October, I dropped out, and then my father told me, listen, I'm happy to help you to cover the rent until December. And then you have 2 options, he told me. Option number 1, you either come back to Cyprus and help your brother with the business here, Software CY, or the second option, you will stay in London, but I will never support you ever financially in your life. So you can choose wisely what you will do. So our father, to be honest with you, it's a more hardcore approach. It's not like the typical. It's like an old school, high authority, you're nothing to me type of guy, which I really respect, to be honest, what he's doing, because to be honest with you, for me, it's like a god. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's like an idol about what he's doing and everything, because he's also the guy that, imagine that 2013, there was a financial crisis here in Cyprus. If you heard about this before, that anyone that had more than 100K in their bank account, they just wipe everything off after 100K. So let's say if you had in your bank account like $1 million, then government?
Well, yeah, you stay with 100K, my friend.
Yeah, you stay with 100K.
You wake up in the morning.
Yeah,
maybe it happened to all that.
Bro, listen, it happened to my father, and as at this day, we don't know how much money he lost. You know why?
It was more than $1 million, actually.
Yeah, but let me explain you something. What I learned from my father, and this is what I really admire him, is that anything shit that happened to his life, he just doesn't transfer you his own problems. He keeps it for himself, he deals with himself, and he always finds a way out. Imagine that when this thing happened in 2013, I used to study in UK. With my sister, the expenses were really high. He used to pay us the rent, the university fees, give us money every month to buy food. And imagine that I had no idea that this happened to our father. Imagine, he didn't say anything to anyone. I found about this like a few years ago, actually.
Damn.
That
I knew about it, but
this happened. But to me and my sister, the younger, he didn't want to tell us anything. Like you guys don't need to know anything about this.
The worst story was like when Xenios and my sister were studying in Portsmouth. I was working actually. He was like, "Are you okay?" Like, I had a full-time job in Cisco. "Are you okay? Like, can you support yourself?" "Yes, I have no problem." "Okay, good." And he was like, "Whew, relief." Okay, because it's like, okay, Sergio is good, and I need to take care of the two. And I remember my grandmother actually. She went and she said to my dad, "I have this amount of money saved. Take it and give it to the kids so I can study." And he was like, "No, I'm not taking it."
Damn.
And he did it. He did it.
Man, listen, for me.
He did it. Not only he did it, wait a minute. Imagine you go whatever, like 1 million to back to 100K, whatever.
Can you imagine this to happen to you? How will you feel the next day?
Rage mode. Man, you couldn't do anything, trust me. I saw these things. You couldn't do anything.
People used to go with their tractors outside the bank to put the bank down.
This happened here.
Yeah.
What banks was it? All of them?
Yeah. Marfin Lagi.
No, it was
Shout out.
No, fuck them.
It was Marfin Lagi, and then it was also the Bank of Cyprus. They had something.
I got Bank of Cyprus.
Oh, everybody has, but okay.
Can this happen again?
No, I don't think so, man. It's very difficult. I hope not.
Bro, listen, the bank is securing 100,000 euros. Anything after that, we are not responsible what's going to happen.
I didn't know that. Nobody told
Well,
me
you
that
should
when I
know
was
You know what my dad does actually? He's a very clever businessman.
Yeah.
He's amazing. So what he does,
Yeah, after he learned
after this happened to him, let me tell you what happened to him. So his old mindset was, okay, I make money, I save it on the bank. Then after this shit happened to him, he was like, okay, I make money. And then what he did? I think now he has like 6-7 bank accounts.
Maybe more. Not just in Cyprus.
Not just in Cyprus, okay? He puts 100K, which is the guaranteed amount.
Yeah, good.
Because he's still afraid. And then I remember one day the opportunity came up to him. It was like a friend called him up. He said to him, "Hey, you know what? There's a guy who has the debts and he's selling the building." And so it's another, but it's where my brother stays.
Another cow.
Yeah. Basically, he's like, okay. And because in Cyprus, I had some connections and we were pushing the bank on the other side, that the price dropped, and then he did his first investment, basically. And from that day, I must say that he doesn't save money in the bank.
Smart.
That's his mindset.
Smart.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I've got money, okay.
Locked in.
He's like, okay, I've got money, I need to get assets.
Yeah,
Not,
beautiful. Fuck that.
Not just, what is the money going to do to me, basically?
Yeah.
And he doesn't travel, I'm going to be honest. He doesn't have an expensive lifestyle, like...
You don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, where he lives.
Yeah, he has a nice house, okay? He has a nice house. He has a nice house, but...
Here in Cyprus or where?
Yeah, in Limassol, like all of you in Limassol. But the thing is that you will see him like here, you will not understand this guy is like that.
What car is he driving?
Man, he used to drive a broke Suzuki.
Yeah, man.
No way.
He has now. You know what car he has now? his smallest car is he has 4 cars. The one that he drives every day is a smart car.
Is the Smart for 4? Yeah. My mom used to say.
No, a Smart for 2.
Yes. And the reason is because he likes to move around easily. He doesn't care.
You know what? Actually, he also has very cool stories. When he used to, he wanted to build a swimming pool in his house, and because he showed up in a really bad car, the guy obviously that he went to get a quotation for swimming pool. He thought, oh, he's gonna be like a small swimming in his house, and he gave him like a price that, okay, I feel sorry for you. You understand? And then the guy, after they locked the deal, when he went to see what he was building, he's like, what? You came up with this car. Honestly, that car was like, if you see it, I don't know how he could drive that car. Like, it looks slow shit, like so bad. I don't know how he used to do that. But it's also a very good lesson that he's trying to teach us that, hey, listen, don't wear expensive clothes, don't drive expensive cars, especially if you're gonna go somewhere. I mean, that's old school mindset. I think right now things change, to be honest with you. Like, if they see someone, he was wearing a watch, a cool t-shirt, he came with a very expensive car, holy fuck, like must be very serious.
Especially online marketing wise. Same for me, like I don't wear my watches at home, right? Because when I work, it scratches the thing. But the moment I go video, like again, like my business is built on shirtless Max sitting on an Airbnb table, right? But when I shoot a video, put on the shirt,
with underwear, not.
Oh, underwear, yeah. If there's no AC, yeah. But when I make a video or I'm on a call, shirt, watch, it's a different generation for sure. So, what's your dad's name? Angelos, shout out.
You should get him on the podcast, man. He has more stories than us.
Oh my God, man. He's the man for a podcast.
We should bring him in, 4 people in podcast.
The thing is, even if you invite him on the podcast, he wouldn't like to talk.
He wouldn't brag about it. Exactly.
Bro, listen, because first of all, he doesn't like to show off. He doesn't like to say what he did. He doesn't like to do any of this stuff. It's the type of guy, just say, watch me.
Love it.
Basically destroys you completely psychologically to see who is the authority in the family. Listen, I'm the boss. Listen, whatever you will do, you will never pass me. That's it.
I love that.
I mean, this is the type of mindset. This is different kind of that, to be honest with you, that we have.
Yeah.
I mean, in my case, look, when I left from university, I told you told me you have the 2 choices. Either you stay, but I will never give you money ever in your life again.
So what did you choose for the listeners?
Bro, I stay in London.
Badass.
2nd of January 2017, I went back there.
Do you think that's what your dad wanted more? Do you think he had a preference and he hoped that you would pick one?
I don't know. He's very unpredictable.
I don't know, man. Like, he probably, like, when in my story, like, my part of the story was like, I worked like 3-4 years 1 year in Silicon Valley, 3 more in London. I came back to Cyprus. I worked like as an employee here for a Forex company. 3 months.
Classic.
3 months. And then I had a fight and then I left.
Fight with the manager?
Yeah, with the manager. And then
Shout out.
I went to another company which was like a data center.
A what center?
Data center. The first data center.
Telecenter.
Data center.
Oh, data center.
Yeah, the first in Cyprus.
Oh.
3 months. And I realized that, okay, shit, I'm doing everything for them. What am I doing here?
The classic, yeah.
And then, but I had my dad always, you know what? You need to do your own thing.
All right.
He was a big motivator on that.
Yeah.
Very big.
In my case, he told me, listen, I'm going to give you one advice. Never get a salary. That's it. Anything that you will do, don't have a salary.
So basically, I started the software CY, basically.
That was what year?
9 years ago. Yeah.
2015.
15.
But for me also, my brother is big motivation. You know how is my brother? Is the type of guy that he will try first to see how everything is, and then he will tell me exactly what not to do. So this is the benefit of having an older brother.
That is genius.
So even my brother, he told me, listen, don't get a job, don't work for anyone. This is my advice. So in my case, look, I never had a job in my life. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never went to an interview. I don't know how it is to be interviewed. I know how to do interviews, people, but I don't know how to be interviewed.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, my brother has a lot of experience which I don't have. Like he used to work for a company with, in just his department, 120 people. In my case, I don't have this experience. I don't know how it looks like. Yeah. He has more experience of hiring people, understanding employees. In my case, I don't understand it. You understand? Obviously, I need more years for me to make sense. But for me, my brother was the type of guy that will try it. He will step his foot first to see how is everything, and then he will tell me, okay, everything's good, just go.
all checked, it's good,
Yeah.
or don't go.
That is beautiful, man. That is freaking amazing.
This is the benefit of being younger brother.
Yeah, 100%. My brother didn't do that. My brother was like, hey, you just learned how to ride a bike. You should ride down that hill. And I'm like, okay. And I cry. And he's like, now I know it's dangerous. That was my older brother. You moved to Silicon Valley. And how did that happen? Why?
Like some people, they say that, oh, I went to university, I dropped out. Oh, I went to university, I didn't like it, it was useless. To me,
I was homeless.
to be honest, my story is different.
All right, let's hear it.
My story is that I owe a lot to my university. I'm going to be honest.
What's the alma mater? What's the university's name?
University of Kent.
Shout out.
I believe
University of what? Kent?
Kent in the UK.
All right.
I believe that a university is good if it helps you to find a job.
Of course, yeah.
If you just go to a university that it doesn't do that, then you made the wrong option. That's my opinion.
So they actively helped you find a job, or?
Basically, I was in Kent, University of Kent. Second year to third year, I had the opportunity to do a placement year, basically. So I got a job actually with, with the vaccines company, with Pfizer.
Oh,
I had the job with Pfizer. I went to their R&D, I passed the interviews, I had the job with them, and then it was February, and it was all over the news, BBC everywhere, that Pfizer was gonna fire 300-400 employees all around United Kingdom, and then the manager calls me and says, well, you know what, like we had the firing, so I'm afraid I cannot offer you the placement. Okay. And then Cisco came, so everybody got their placement. I didn't get my placement. I was like, okay, shit, I didn't get my placement. I'm gonna go to third year, finish, and then we see what happens.
What is Cisco? Is that a software hardware? I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's one of the biggest companies on the planet. You've seen it everywhere. Maybe it's in your house also.
They do routers, they do firewalls.
That's what I thought.
Yes,
The hardware stuff.
exactly.
All right.
So they came to Kent because one of the VPs was a Kent graduate. He said, I'm going to go to Kent University and I'm going to pick only 4 people.
Wow.
When he came, everybody was applying. Everybody from my year, they wanted to go to that place because it was in the US, in California, you know what? Right. And I didn't like where I studied, I didn't like it. It was like a small village, man, like village, you cannot understand. And I wanted to get out of it for 1 year. So I applied. Actually, he selected me and 3 more guys. We went there. We didn't know each other actually. We met at the airport. We went to USA.
They didn't interview you just based on the CV?
No, they interviewed, man, of course.
How was the interview?
It was like 1-to-1, and then it was another interview with the other manager, and then with the VP, and then also we had a technical test and so on. It was crazy.
And by the way, don't be surprised that maybe one of the reasons that they got you because they saw the special forces.
Yes. The VP who came and said, okay, I'm going to get the 4 people. When I did the interview with him, he was like, are you from Cyprus? I said, yes. do you know where Cyprus? Because most people, they don't know actually. Yeah, I know where Cyprus. I used to stay in Famagusta, he said to me. I had the best years of my life there. And we started talking about that on the interview, man. It was ridiculous. Actually, that was my interview with him. He was telling me about his life in Famagusta, which was like in 1955, 1960 basically. It was crazy. And then I got the job there. We went there. You know, and going to the US was like a dream. Like everybody wants to go there, and going to Silicon Valley. Basically.
Sorry to interrupt you. Let's stay with that interview process. That's really interesting. The first one was he just rambled about Famagusta. What else? How did they?
He was not the first one. This guy. He was the highest rank.
So what was the first interview like?
First interview was like basically trying to determine if you're motivated. Also, they wanted to see if this person comes to US, is he capable to stay away in a different time zone, in a different country, because they were worried that they didn't want to select somebody, go there and break down, then come back half here, like, you know.
So how did they ask you? Did they ask you directly? Would you break down? Or?
Yeah, like, and me, I told them, my example was like, I was 2 years in the Special Forces. So it was like game over. I had that benefit, basically. And I mean, they would see, of course, the grades on the university. They didn't want the top students, actually. I was middle, to be honest with you. I was mid-section. And they didn't want the top guys. They didn't want the low. They were looking for the mid. It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to be honest with you. All my schoolmates, okay, from school, the ones that they got top grades, they didn't do something special until now. Usually they say that the special comes from the mid-range. That's what they said. Okay, so they were looking for that. They would ask you anything that you had on your CV. It was looking good I remember, like, if you had something good on it, like that was showing that you were hardworking. Personally, me, my dad, both of us, we were going on the warehouse and we were working for a warehouse here in Cyprus during summers. And so I think that counted as well, which was a good sign, basically. Yeah. Because, you know, at that point, you don't really have too much to show off, you know. It's not you have any projects to show off. It's just a university work. And that was the interview process. Like that was the first step. Then there was another interview, which basically was more about what you want to learn from the placement, what you want to accomplish, which department will be best for you, and so on. And then it was the third interview, which was the VP, Tony, it's his name. Shout out. Tony changed my life, actually. He took me to US. We went there. It was like 20 buildings, man. 20 buildings. I'm serious. 20 buildings, like the one we have here, full of employees. When I went there, I was like, oh my God, where am I? It was like, the other amazing thing there, which I will never forget, and is one of the reasons I like to go there, is that you go out on cafes, on Starbucks, for example, you hear people talking about businesses, man. It's crazy. That area there is the area of online businesses, not consulting businesses, but tech business. Tech, it's all about tech there, not consulting, like we do, okay? But to me, what they do there, the mindset, you are on the right environment to do a tech company there. Or if you passed from there, it's good. You have a lot of a good experience. So the shotgun story, which I owe you.
All right, let's hear it.
In US. So basically, we went there. We had the first month we stayed in a hotel, everything paid, perfection. Then we had to find a house. We found a house. And the first week I was there, we had like neighbors, which we never saw actually. So it was like a field. And then there was a house in the field. Okay. And I was alone with Phil, actually, my roommate. I was with Phil on the house, and I could hear two people talking on the other side on the fence. It was a wooden fence. All right. So I was crazy back then, like feet from the army, nobody could get on my way. So I get up the fence, and I was like, what are you doing here? Why you're here? And it was two of them. It was a guy and a woman. about 70, 80 years old. I thought they were gypsy people, homeless people.
70, 80? Like old people?
Yeah, it was old people. I thought but they were looking homeless, to be honest with you. I was like, what are they doing here? So the woman continued sitting on the chair, and me, I was behind her on the fence.
Yeah.
And the guy stands up and says to me, who are you? I said to him, I'm staying here, I'm renting the house. Who are you? We own this land. I said to him, you own this land and you're sitting here? What are you talking about, man? Where's your house? It's down there, he says to me. I don't believe you. Get out of the way, I'm gonna call the police, I said to him. No, I'm not calling them, I'm gonna call the police, he says to me. I said to him, no, I'm gonna call the police, or if you don't want, I'm just gonna jump down here and I'm gonna make you run away. Yeah, I said to him, I'm just gonna run, I'm just gonna jump down there and I'm gonna make you run away. And Phil, he said to me, man, calm down. And then he took me down, and then we went to the other neighbor on the other side of the house. I said to him, man, where's these people? What's going on? And the guy that I was having the fight, he came there. He said to me, who are you? And then the other neighbor said, no, they're really neighbors here. Okay, guys, come on. And he says to me, if you were jumping down that fence, my wife was ready to shoot you. She had a gun with her. And these guys, they were CIA guys.
What?
Yes, and they were CIA secret services, and they served in Cyprus as well. They told me, when they heard I was Cypriot, like they were like, oh, yeah, and so on. But it was crazy, man. If I was jumping down, he was gonna shoot me. You know, in California, when somebody gets into your property, you're allowed to shoot him. It's crazy.
So wait, were they really 80 years old?
Yes.
How come they're still, what did you say, CIA?
And they were back then, like when they're...
Oh, they're retired?
Yes, they were retired.
What? Damn.
Yes, man.
Okay, damn. And they owned the land?
They owned the land there.
They're just balling from the CIA
Yeah, I
money?
don't know, man. Probably, yeah.
Well, in the US, you know, there's a lot of Sims. 401k.
Yeah, back to topic about the US. I was there for a year. It was the best year of my life. Then
My brother
yes.
considered many times to live there, by the way.
Oh, I wanted to stay there, man. I wanted to stay there.
Still, even now?
No.
Yeah, not anymore, huh? Not anymore, it's changed.
I got married. I have a nice life here. So
Dude, Cyprus is so nice. Every time I come here, I like it even more. Every single time.
Bro, there is a reason that all of these expats, they're just...
and you're staying on you're staying on the wrong city when you come here.
Countryside, nowhere.
But look, Paphos, is, in my opinion, is also is the next big thing.
It's blowing up. You know why? My
And it's
my-
amazing city. Let's not... it's amazing city, Paphos. I love it.
My friend who he owns a lot of real estate all around the world. He told me that in, I think, next year, some huge private university from Lebanon is gonna build one of their institutes in Paphos, and they're expecting 5,000 to 10,000 students to move to Paphos. So what he did is he instantly bought a building there, and now they're building apartments for these students there. Smart guy, right? He hears that, buys a building, renovates it, flips it, and now he's going to build it for students there. And he says this city's going to blow the fuck up because of all the students. I mean, imagine 5,000 to 10,000 students there, the jobs, the infrastructure, the money that is going to come. And it's a private American University of Lebanon or something like that. So it's not just some small, shitty university. It's like actually like a private, relatively expensive university. So I think, because every time I go to Cyprus, there's like 20 new houses, huge villas. Every time I go to the same area, there's new hotel. They're building like crazy. And every time I go to the gym, Tower Fitness, shout out, every time I get recognized, every time some guy, I have my online business, we're making $3.5 million. It's every freaking guy that you meet at dinner, in the butcher, at the gym, is some sort of expat, online business, making money. And it's a much nicer version of Dubai. It has, of course, not as much money in there, but people move here. It's less weird. I find Dubai extremely weird. It's It's beautiful, but it's superficial. It's fake. It's like Las Vegas. You go there and you're like, I know this is not supposed to be, and it's just there because it looks pretty and all that. Cyprus is a little bit more real, but it also has more and more entrepreneurs that come here, like you guys, like Nikki Bra, like myself. Like, I have so many clients now that live in Cyprus.
Bro,
it's so weird.
I didn't come here. I was born here.
You were born, that's right. But it's great. Like, it gets bigger every time. Limassol is blowing up. Paphos is about to blow up. Larnaca, I'm not a big fan of it, but Limassol is amazing. And every time I come here, I'm like, next time I gotta stay.
The best cities in Cyprus is Limassol and Paphos.
Yes.
In my opinion, this is the two best cities ever, honestly. But Limassol, especially, there you will meet a lot of amazing people, especially here. Man, imagine every time I go to the gym and I park my car, I will show you a video on my phone.
All right.
You know what cars they park there?
At the gym?
There is no car less than 100,000 euros, like at the gym.
You still got yours, that Mercedes?
Of course, man. This is like a baby to me.
Sound, man. That's
Yeah.
What do you drive, bruv?
Jill C43.
Oh, that's guys.
Good to have Jill as well here.
But I heard that they're really crazy with the driving too fast here. Like, the cops are really crazy. Like, you got to be really careful.
Listen, we are locals. Different.
You know that when Nicky Bra came to Paphos in his Ferrari to do a podcast with me, he was like, 20 minutes late because the cops pulled him over?
Due to the noise or due to speed?
No, because he doesn't have a front license plate.
He needs to get one.
Listen, I told him they didn't stop him because of the front license plate. They just wanted to see the car.
Exactly. You know, it's so funny. Like, I've had a similar situation with Andre, my poker friend. And, I mean, he was like 21 and he bought a brand new Audi for, I think, 70 or 80K, you know, like the highest tier with black matte, new from the, right from the factory and all that, with all kinds of extra stuff. That was 2009, 2010. It was one of the first cars. It had voice activation, which back then was like, nobody had that, right? He pressed a button and he's like, navigation, and then the car would do it. And he picks me up from my student apartment, right? Because we were about to go out and talk to girls. And he's at my place. We chat. We get ready. We go back to his car. 4 cops writing him a ticket, right? Because he was parking somewhere. And we go there. And Andre is like he was 20 years old, small guy like me. The cops are like, is this you? And he's like, yeah. And he was just not phased, right? They were giving him like $100 ticket, whatever. But he's a young guy, so the cops were assuming they're pissing him off, right? And he's like, oh yeah, sorry, my bad, whatever, I'll pay. And they're like, so it's your dad's car, right? And he's like, oh no, it's my own car. Like, what? Because they assumed he's a 20-year-old guy, right? Like, must be his dad's car. And he's like, it's a nice car. Is it new? He's like, yeah. And then he's like, what do you do for a living? And he was a pro poker player. So he's just like looking straight at the cop's face, and he's like, with all due respect, sir, I don't need to tell you that information. We got in and we drove off. It was so fucking funny. Legendary. So what's next for you guys?
Bro, listen, in our case, look, we built the software. COP member back in 2000. It wasn't COP member back then.
It was.
Man, it's 4 years now.
I remember you telling me about it.
Man, let me tell you something. I will tell you the story, really quick story. It was 2018, okay? 2018 was the time that me and my brother, we realized that something is going on in the online marketing industry, especially with the courses and everything. It was the time that it was started to gonna go crazy.
When everybody digs for gold, sell them shovels.
And I told to my brother, man, listen, we need to build this software. This is something that is gonna be really, really big. Trust me. But in this case, that I personally wanted this software for my fitness business, and my brother told me, listen, if you want me to build this for you, you need to pay.
No. That's what I said to him. If you want to build this,
Because
find somebody who will pay it, because it's a big thing.
All right.
So basically what I did, I went and found someone, which I told him the idea. Obviously his mind got mind blown. Listen, can you do this for us? Like, yeah, I can do this for you. And basically but you have to pay this amount of money and we will do it for you. so basically I told to my brother, hey, listen, I found this guy, very big German online marketer. I don't want to say names, by the way.
Why not, man? Just say it. He's the first ever customer, man.
First ever customer.
First ever customer of Cop member, it's Fahim Kenanoglu, my friend.
He's Fahim Kenanoglu.
Who? I never heard of that guy.
It's Chi Healing. This is his business. Chi Healing.
Shihilik.de, basically. That's his business.
Shout out.
He's one of the biggest German online marketers, and maybe the biggest in the B2C.
Is he still?
Yeah, of course.
So he was in 2018 and he still is? 5 years domination?
Yeah,
Respect.
he's doing really well. Yeah.
He's top of the game.
So how, you knew him before? Or you just cold DM'd him?
He was a friend of mine here, because here there in Cyprus there is a German community. So basically there was this one guy, he was always DMing me on Instagram, and I'm really sorry to say this, but I never replied to these DMs. And then DM that caught my attention, he told me, hey, listen, I'm very good friends with Max.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he used your name and we should meet. And I was like, really? Okay, let's meet. And then basically I went to meet this guy, and then he told me, listen, I don't know Max, but I just used it.
We went together in Pervoya. He was staying in Pervoya. We went, Sven, shout out to Sven. Sven.
Does not know me.
I don't know if you know him, Sven. I will show him his Facebook or Instagram.
Like Sven basically told us about Fahim. Back then we used to be also in some events.
I know. So Fahim knew Sam Ovens, or
No,
what?
we were one of the first. Yes, we were clients of some events.
Oh, you were clients or owner or what? Because you said part of. Okay, got it.
Clients of some events, basically. And Sven said to us, you need to meet with Fahim. He stays in Lima, so he's also a client of some events. You guys will exchange lots of data information together. So you guys should go and meet. And that's where Xenios told him about the platform.
Yeah, I told him the idea. Listen, this is the idea. I need it for me. He wanted as well, so he paid 6,000 euros. I told to my brother, listen, I found you the guy. Here is 6,000 euros.
Did he pay you that evening or later, or how did it work?
I don't know. My brother sorted it with him.
Invoice him and he paid.
Yeah.
He was like,
Invoice paid. Fahim, no problem. Thank you, bro. Honestly. So he was the first ever customer. I was the first ever, but I didn't pay.
Yo, you owe him 6K, bro.
Yeah, he wants this money as of today. He doesn't care.
Then this software.
Bro, we smelled it, that it will blow up.
You know what I was doing every morning? I'm gonna be honest with you. Every morning, I was coming. Basically, my most productive time of the day is the morning. That nobody's here actually. So I was coming here every day in the morning.
I was thinking that you can say something different, man.
Nah, it's before that. So I used to come every day in the morning, and I used to DM maybe 100 people per day from that group. I nailed that group. And we got big names, man. Like one of the biggest names, Bastian Slot. Shout out, his friend, his machine. Richard Yu, shout out, like.
Bro, if you are in the online space, you know these people, like
clients of us. Damn. Crazy, and I was like, shit, we're closing. These guys were like.
Bro, you know that at some point Grant Carton came to us for this. Yes, Grant Carton. Neil Patel, you know Neil Patel? Yes. They also came to us for this big. Yeah, every one of these big guys.
And funny story. How did Raul find us?
How did he? I don't know.
Oh my God. So I was on that party with Sven, okay, at his house in Pervoya. So he was doing like every month he was doing a party.
Yeah, all German community. Only Cypriots, me and my brother, we just used to go.
So all the Germans there, me and Xenios there, and I met many. I mean, shout out to, for example, we met with Ben from Naga. one of the most famous in German. Like Naga is one of the biggest forex companies. Naga markets. Anyway, so
Evaluation, I think maybe 1 billion.
somebody was talking to me about Raul. This is a top marketer, blah blah blah, and so on. Sven grabs my phone. Let me show you. We went to Facebook, we found him, searched him, add him. Boom. I added him, he accepted me. I didn't know who was this guy.
Everyone was talking about Raul. Like there is no single German person that didn't know about this guy.
Yeah.
And then we did the software, and then after about 2 years after having the software running here, then one day he messaged me because I was doing almost every day on my personal Facebook profile. I was posting about the software. Now I don't post anymore, but I was doing it every day to get customers, every day. I was having people making value posts, making stories and everything. So every day doing that. And then one day I get a message from Raul.
But it's a very funny story, by the way.
I want to see a demo.
Yeah.
He says. And okay, let's jump on a demo. And I remember I took the demo from my veranda upstairs, and the demo was like 11 o'clock at night. I said to Xenios, bro, we have a demo with Raul Plicat.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. When I saw the name, I was like, holy fuck.
Like, what? No way. And we did the demo to Raul. He didn't buy.
Oh.
He did not buy.
Why didn't he? What was his reason?
We don't know.
We don't know.
He didn't say. He's just like, I'm not in, or what did he say?
No. He just left the call and lost. Okay.
So he said thanks.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
When was that?
2017 maybe.
No. 19.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, because 2018 we started 1 year after
Yes,
this.
yeah, I think it was 19. And then after almost a year after, I get another message from Raul. The second message was like, hey, are you open to sell your software?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought that he was bullshitting, by the way. I talked to my brothers, and this guy, I don't know, maybe he's
And then we
bullshitting.
started talking with Copcard and so on. And then
Yeah, but you know what? When that thing happened, and my brother told me, hey, listen, he messaged me this and everything, and this is what's gonna happen, that we're gonna sell the software. Can you imagine that in my head? I already visualized that we were in Dubai airport and we were going there to meet them. Honestly, I still say this story, and a few months after, this is what happened. Yes. We were in Dubai, we're going there to meet these guys, to make the deal, and make this partnership. I think it was one of the most amazing moments in our career doing business, and also that's something that opened our eyes, like, holy shit, that maybe the future is softwares, like you build this and then you sell it for whatever.
Listen, the most important thing for anyone, like, why did we came and we did this software? Because I don't know, we like Xenios had the idea, like, we saw all these people, online marketing, like online courses, and we did it because it was easy for us to sell it to them. We were in the bubble, basically. Yeah.
But it's not just this, man. Before I used to have Kajabi, I used to have Thinkific, I used to have Teachable, and I was always finding issues with them. I'm not gonna lie to you. There was always something that I didn't like. And then I told to my brother, hey, listen, we can do this better than them, and I need this and this and that feature. And if you do this and this and that to me, I believe that I'm gonna have a more successful online fitness business. And since we've done this, for me, it was literally a game changer to my business, because we've built the software exactly how I wanted. So basically my customer was going exactly through the journey that I wanted them to go. But with the other softwares, they couldn't do it. I couldn't do it with Kajabi, I couldn't do it with Thinkific, I couldn't do it with Teachable. Back in the days. Now there is also other softwares, which I still believe that we can do this better than them. So that's now we're rebranded to Cope Member. And Cope Member is basically a software that is for coaches to host their course and give an amazing experience to their students, and at the same time very customizable experience. Because look, your students, when they get on Cope Member, first of all, they will not know that you're on Cope Member because it's everything under your branding. It's everything under freedombusinessmentoring.com. Nobody knows. And it looks like that basically you build it with developers and you look more professional. So it's everything under you. Everything is customizable under your domain, everything under you. And at the same time, there is no limitations on what you can do with the software. Right now, you can build community with it. One of the issues which I had back in the days, which nobody could solve it, a few of my customers, they used to share their logins with other people. So basically, I told my brother, imagine, we had this from 2018, this feature. We had a feature that we could see exactly how many devices this person has logged in with, what IP addresses, and everything. And I could get basically a warning which ones are the ones that I need to be careful of. And I prevented many times like frauds that they're coming to get in the software and basically just steal your stuff and then put them on torrents. I mean, I'm sure you experienced this. Everyone has experienced this when you have maybe over 500 students or maybe over 1,000 students. So this is a problem that I personally solved. Or now with the community, we don't like Facebook groups. I want everything to be in one platform. So with Cope Member, you can do this. I have all my everything in one platform. They have the community there. Me as the coach, I can coach them from there. I do everything from there. It's everything under one platform.
So you can do like live classes. You don't have to do it over Zoom anymore. You just do it straight on the platform.
Not yet. This is something that I personally in beta test. Is not really out live. I mean, there's also the benefit of having the software like this, that personally I get to test stuff before they're live, and we get to build them exactly how I want.
And isn't it also like you can edit the videos on there? You can upload your video and you can edit it in the
I'm going to tell you
platform.
something. These features are gimmicky. Anyone who is a serious coach, let's say like you, who obviously you have a full-time video editor or a full-time visuals team, nobody will ever use a feature like this, you understand? And for us, it doesn't make sense to make features like this. It makes more sense to make features that big players will use. For example, Fahim, bro, he has 11,000 students. Imagine 11,000 students, maybe more.
Active or in total? Or
active in total. He's really big. So we really tested the software that it can also handle like really big players, and at the same with no issues at all. I mean,
not only that, like Dirk Kruiter also.
Yeah, Dirk Kruiter.
Platform.
Yeah,
yes,
Dirk Kruiter like, also. How many students? Like,
I don't remember now, but we have a lot of customers on it. But the thing is, I want to say that I mean, imagine now you put Primoz, who is a top-notch video guy, to come on Cope Member to edit his video, man, on Cope Member. Are you serious, man? He will want his Adobe and his other software to do the pretty things because he's a perfectionist, man. Yeah. Now, if you are a small coach, which maybe you want to do everything yourself, then maybe you will use it, maybe. But
at the same time, you wouldn't use our software. You will use something that is for free.
Most probably, I think everybody is teaching people, just go on Fiverr, find somebody, pay him $10, $20 to do the editing for you, and then upload it. Come on. I'm not going to do such a feature. I'm not going to, it's not a benefit.
It's not the needle mover.
Exactly. It's not, the needle mover, for example, is for a course. We have a feature which is very simple, but does a lot of work, which is, you can ask the students or customers when they join to sign electronically the terms and conditions.
Ah, juicy.
Why? Sounds simple, but there is a big why. You got a dispute, my friend? You just go to Cope Member, download the document, go to Stripe, whoever is your payment provider, upload it with a screenshot which provides the logins and everything, and also the terms and conditions, and trust me, 80% you with the case. Of course, you need to have good terms and conditions.
Yes. Bro,
Okay?
everyone has experienced this. I mean, I will not believe you if you tell me I never had a display.
No, 100%. 100%. You can be so good at your delivery, you still get disputes. Because people are people.
The thing with the way that we do this, okay, I don't know how you do this in your business, but I'm sure you have a similar model. When you close someone and they sign up on your program, most likely maybe you send them a DocuSign to sign or something like that, which obviously you put more resistance for someone to, I have to read the contract right now and I have to sign it. With with Coop member, it's not like this. They buy, they get instantly the email to open their account to access the course, and while they are creating their profile, the last step, read the terms and conditions and sign. Beautiful. And it's basically a very seamless process, and they get instantly in the course. Obviously, if you don't sign, you don't get access to the course. But everyone does this. We never heard a story that someone, they bought and they didn't want to sign the terms and conditions. I mean, this is...
Actually, I have a very weird story. Like, I'm going to tell you, like, one day I received, he has my personal phone number. So Bastian calls me, Bastian Slot. Bro, somebody is putting up my courses on torrents. And I said to him, bro, be proud. That's what I told you, seriously. Be proud. It means that you did something which really works. I said to him, he said to me, yeah, can we identify who did it actually? And man, I found out 10 suspects. And I think he found him in the end. So I gave him a list. What
did he do with the list?
I don't know what he did actually. I don't know what he did. I don't know. I think you cannot do anything actually. It's like, forget it. You're just going to waste your time and money basically.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you have a German company, because in Germany everything is so strict, maybe you can do something.
With this GDPR, you guys are crazy down there.
That's a good point.
I don't know, but like I'm telling you, I was like, be proud. Big. I don't want to reveal the name, but somebody else one day. So he sent me a video from Kajabi. And man, this guy is not technical. And he could download with 2 clicks.
Yeah, and
All the videos.
The problem is still as of today.
All the videos, all the videos. Yes, I have the video. I can show you later.
Love it.
And basically, I have it saved on my PC as bookmarked as Kajabi fuck up. Basically,
And it's still a fuck up. Can you believe it?
It's still there.
Yeah, they never fixed it.
you upload all your content there. All your content there, it's uploaded, man. And 2 clicks. And anybody can get it basically and put it to torrents. That's how torrents make their money. Now, Coop member, I'm not saying because we did it, okay, but we tried to do similar tests and they failed. I'm not saying it's not hackable.
Everything is hackable.
Everything is hackable today. Everything, my friend. Whoever says that it's unhackable, I'm saying that they have no idea. That's my opinion.
You know what is the most secure video hosting platform? Which I'm sure you know it. Bro, listen, you do know Netflix.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, Netflix, it has the most crazy securities that you can imagine.
Try. Huh?
You cannot record screen or something.
Yes.
Oh,
Try on your laptop when you watch Netflix.
To do screen recording.
Screen recording or screenshot. It does not work, my friend.
All right.
Screenshots.
I mean, I can take my phone and take a photo of the laptop.
That's what I said when I spoke to Bastian. Actually,
There is no technology.
when I spoke to Bastian and when I spoke to many other people that I do demo calls, I don't do them anymore. But when they come on the demo call, I say to them, "But I worry about the security." And I always say to them, "Listen, if somebody wants to hack your course,
They will do it, man.
they will find a way to do it. They will just put a camera on the. I can put it up here, put a camera and.
Bro,
record
listen,
everything.
the whole idea is, okay, how hard can I make it for the hacker? That's the whole idea.
Yeah. Because they're like, yeah, whatever, I'll just copy some other guy's course and put that up because it's 2 steps easier. So that's really what it really is. You don't have to be the most secure guy. You just have to be more secure than the other guy. It's like when you're running away from a bear. You don't need to be running faster than the bear. You just need to run faster than the other guy that also runs away from the bear.
I agree with you. I agree. I totally agree with you.
Look, the thing with this is also, look, even if someone, let's say, goes and watch your course, are they going to succeed with it just by watching it? No, because the value, in my opinion, is in the calls. It's also in the community if you have one. I mean, this is the main value at the end of the day.
Back to your question, what is next? Because that was your question. We started talking about COP members.
Yes.
So what is next? I mean, at this point, I'm going to say it, I get so many people trying to disturb me almost every week. Do you know how many people call me up and say to me, hey, I've got this idea. Hey, I've got this idea. Hey, I've got this idea. And I'm like, no.
Because we build softwares. I mean, this is what we do here. It's one of the things that are there.
I'm like, no, I'm not interested. Like, now my only focus is agency, COP member, and Xenios Fitness. That's the only thing we care about at this point of time.
True. At some point, we fucked it up. Yes. We started to do so many things that we realized, man.
Yeah, like we cannot do we cannot do more things than what we're doing right now. We want to grow what we have, all 3 companies. That's our goal. And
you put it in real estate, and that's it. And then you retire.
Make more cows.
That's the whole thing.
Guys, I think it's time to wrap this up.
Bro, listen, we can talk endlessly, but
hell yeah! But I also want to feast with you guys. What is it? Cope member software. What's the softwarecy.com?
Bro, listen, it's software CY, and basically software CY in simple words is designing websites and online marketing. Basically, we also do right now a lot of websites for online coaches. Cope member, again, I don't need to explain it. With Cope Card, we are biggest partners together.
We have Cope Card as well. Yep. Shout out to the boys.
I mean, Cope member and Cope Card, boom. It's like brother and sister. And xeniosfitness.com.
Xeniosfitness.com, your Instagram, we're going to put down below. We're going to put your Instagram down below. Last question before I wrap things up. 5 to 10 years from now, they're going to make... No, let me finish. 5 to 10 years from now, they're going to make a Martin Scorsese movie about the 2 brothers from Cyprus crushing it.
They're going to do?
They're going to make a movie. Martin Scorsese, famous filmmaker. Wolf of Wall Street, for example. Departed.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they're going to make a movie about you. Who's going to play you? First guy comes to mind.
I don't know.
Who's going to play you?
Myself, man.
All right. Here's my suggestion. Mark Wahlberg, Matt Damon. Shout out to the boys. Yeah.
Okay, I will see it.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm not going to let him, man. I'm just going to be the one. I'm telling you from now.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is Max Tornow. Honestly, thank you for having us on the podcast. Very knowledgeable guy, very smart guy. Honestly, I know him for how many years? 8 years, 7 years?
Man. It's been a ride.
I strongly recommend whoever wants to start a business to get your advice.
Yes. I mean, you helped me a lot with what I do. I mean, let's be realistic. I was never actual part of your courses, but as a friend, you gave me a lot of advices, and you guided me on the right direction. So I really want to thank you for this, honestly. So you are legit. You know what you're talking about. End of the story.
It means a lot to me. Let's feast. GG. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Woo! That was a sick fucking podcast, guys.